TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
Thank you for making Saints Central
your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking indeed. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or robbery could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that to the black and gold family, man. We in this thing. It's going down TSC Friday installment. We doing it early. Big ups to the great Saint Think Tank. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. I'm in the building. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. I appreciate you guys for being in the live stream with me on this one. Very tough. Dealing with another lost Saints currently on a 4-game slide, man. And the last of it was very troublesome. Certain aspects of the team just totally quit, offensively speaking. Defensively, they were just worn down. But the offense is so tragically bad that it drags down other units of the Saints team as a whole. And it's very, very sad. But anyway, we'll get into the recap on this game as well. Saints go down 31-6 in a blaze 4-game slide. And let me tell you something. When you dig a hole, you got to figure out how to get out of that thing. And the Saints, man, I tell you, 4-game losing streak. Team effort's not there as well. People don't know what the hell they're doing on offense. And we ain't just talking about guys that are the backup guys, as they like to call them, a third-string team or whatever, like Swade likes to refer to them as. We're talking about Teron Armstead. We're talking about Cesar Ruiz. We're talking about Eric McCoy. We're talking about offensive linemen that are not on the same page for whatever reason. But, of course, the big obvious fact is that Trevor Siemian at the quarterback position is 0-4, which is problematic, especially as a team offensively speaking. The Saints are not putting it all together, and that's an issue. So with that being said, we're going to recap this thing, then open up for commentary from the family members. A few items that we have to go over here. And, of course, as you can see, 31-6, Saints destroyed. It says TSC Saints blasted by the Bills 31-6. Recap reaction in this one. And, of course, if you can stand it, I'm going to run through these statistics. First down, Saints. 21-12 advantage, Buffalo. The Saints at one time didn't have a third down conversion. They were 5 of 14 on the game. 1 of 3 on fourth down versus 8 of 13 by the Buffalo Bills. We had a pretty positive offensive output running and throwing the football against the black and gold. Total plays, Buffalo 62 to the Saints 57. 361 total yards versus just 198 by the Saints. 10-11 on the drives, advantage Saints. Almost 6 yards per play. The Saints 3.3, half of that. 248 in the passing game for the Bills versus 146 by the New Orleans Saints. You look at the rushing attack, the Saints sadly only 44 rushing yards versus 113 by the Buffalo Bills. They had 32 carries for 3.5 yards per carry. The Saints 44 carries, 25 attempts for a measly 2 yards per attempt, which we talked about what Coach Payton was trying to do. He was literally trying to run the ball in the second half, but the offensive line was so pathetic, so impudent, so ridiculous, so weak, so flimsy, so trash, so disgusting, so foul, that they couldn't even muster enough a gumption, heart, balls to be able to help the running game balance the Saints offense. And as a result, they were suffocated. The Buffalo Bills basically did what any good coach would do, was neutralize the Saints and force Trevor Siemian to beat him, which he could not, which is not a secret because we've been saying that Trevor Siemian can't beat teams by himself. He's not that type of player. You need to give him the full effort of the offense, meaning the running game, which opens up the pass. The Saints couldn't even run the ball, man. Couldn't even run the ball. And if you watch the body language of the offensive linemen, they did a better job of pass blocking versus run blocking. But run blocking was pathetic. It was absolutely shitty. It was garbage. It was one of the worst that I've seen in a long time since the Carolina game of week 2, to be honest with you. All right, let's get back into this stuff, man, because I can barely stand it anymore. All right. And of course, red zone. Saints was in the red zone one time the whole damn game. 2 of 4 by the Buffalo Bills. Penalties really didn't make a difference. 4 of 24 by the black and gold. 435. 4 for 35 by the Bills. 2 turnovers. The Saints had 2 interceptions. The offense couldn't do anything with them. And of course, Trevor Siemian threw the ball into a dead man territory. I don't know what he was throwing at. But there were several passes by Trevor Siemian throwing in dead man's land. I don't know what the hell he was looking at, but just throwing the ball to areas where there was, it's just really dumbfounding. And of course, the time of possession. Make mental note of this because we'll come back and redress this as we continue to tacking on to everything else that's been happening with the black and gold. Is the fact that if you look at what happened with their rushing attempts, not the rushing attempts, but the possession, a TOP, 34-38 for the Buffalo Bills versus 25-22 for the Saints. Pretty much what that means is 35 minutes, over 35 minutes of a 60-minute game. Your defense, DeMario Davis, Cam Jordan, and company, Marshawn Lattimore, were all on the field for that allotment of time, which is absolutely ridiculous that the defense would spend almost 35 minutes on the field of a 60-minute contest. And you understand why defenses would start to crack at some point. And this is in a parade, a consecutive parade of comedy, Three Stooges level football in terms of the offense is concerned, where people, including myself, were anticipating the Saints to do what they did in several previous contests, offensively speaking, which would then backload the game with points in the fourth quarter in a frivolous attempt of making a comeback. Well, that didn't happen in this game. Absolutely collapsement occurred. An implosion starting with the offensive line that was totally dominated by the defensive line of the Buffalo Bills. Give the Buffalo Bills people credit. Give them credit. Don't act sour, and let's not get into a mentality where we don't understand what it is. The Saints, the Buffalo Bill defensive line, took the heart from the black and gold. They took it from them. They took it. They dominated the line of scrimmage, and the Saints could not run the ball. They barely could pass protect. Trevor Siemian had his issues as he kept stepping. He refused to step up in the pocket on those sacks to make throw. Had he stepped up into the pocket, he probably would have thrown an interception or incompletion anyway. He simply did not have it. And that's why Trevor Siemian is a third stringer, because they can only win for a small period of time before people get a certain amount of tape on them, figure out their tendencies, and then they're moved back further into the bench and on to somebody else. The only protection for a third string quarterback as Trevor Siemian is the running attack, where the play action gets involved, and then it creates a balancement, so to speak, where the Saints could be able to do some things. Running game simply not there. The pressure was on Trevor Siemian to make plays. He could not. Saints lose. A good game plan by Buffalo. So, however you feel about it, you got to give the Buffalo Bills people credit, because they handled up. They did what they were supposed to do. They neutralized and one-dimensionalized the New Orleans Saints offense. And pretty much, to be honest with you, the Saints did it to themselves. They looked like they weren't even prepared in this game. Individual statistics now. Trevor Siemian finished the game 17 of 29 for 163, 5.6 yards per throw, 1 touchdown, and interception. 2 sacks were upon him, and he had a QBR of a beautiful 14.4. How about that? That is absolutely miserable. And then a rating of 71.5. And don't forget that great fake punt in which Blake Gillikin tried to find LaJardan Humphrey. Sailed 5 yards over his head. All right, New Orleans, also the running attack. And I made mention of it. Tony Jones had 16 carry attempts for 27 yards. That's less than 2 yards per carry. The longest was in the 11-yard scampers, how he got the bulk of that yardage. Ty Montgomery, 6 carries for 14 yards. He did a little bit better at 2.3. And Trevor Siemian did scramble 3 times for only 3 yards. Altogether, a cumulative effort of 25 rushes for 44 yards, averaging less than 2 yards. That is impudence at the highest level. New Orleans, the receiving staff, LaJardan Humphrey had 3 for 47, Traquan 4 for 31, Ty had 5 for 31, Callaway 2 for 24 off of 4 attempts. And of course, Nick Vannett, he got his first touchdown as a black and gold guy, had 1 for 11 yards in the score. Adam Prentice, the backup fullback, had a catch, and Deonte Harris was thrown at 5 times when he came up with the ball. 1 time. We'll have some news on Deonte Harris after this. DeMario led the team in tackles with 10 tackles, followed by Marcus Williams. Bradley Roby had 8 tackles. Laddie Daddy had a tough day, 5 tackles. Paulson Adebo also had a pretty tough day. 4 for him and Quan Alexander along with P.J. Williams and Hosea Bronson. Now, sacks, as far as the Saints defense is concerned, Carl Granderson got a sack yesterday, as well as Caden Ellis. They came in there, and that's the only 2 sacks the Saints were able to muster, but they did put pressure. Thanks to Cam, who had 1 tackle in the matchup, was able to hit the hand of Josh Allen, forcing an interception by Quan Alexander, who got 1. And, of course, Bradley Roby stepped in front of 1 to shut down what was potentially 2 Buffalo scoring drives and neutralize them. And, of course, one of the interceptions, the Quan Alexander interception, was on the back of what happened after the referees ruled that Buffalo had an ineligible player downfield, which drew the flag that took a touchdown from Knox, the tight end for Buffalo, off the board, which led into the interception by Quan Alexander. So, I mean, that was a plus and really could have been a lot worse if you think about it, which I really don't want to think about it, to be honest with you. Blake Gillikin was having a busy day. Besides his 1 incompletion, 5 punts for 235 yards, 47 yards per punt, and the longest was a 53-yarder for the Saints. And, of course, a few notes for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, the big quarterback, 23 of 28 for 260 yards, averaged 9.3 yards per throw, 4 touchdowns. Of course, the 2 interceptions. He was sacked a couple of times, averaged 75.9, almost 76% from his QBR, and had a rating of 115.2, which, besides the interceptions, the Buffalo Bills did a good job of keeping their offense on schedule. Devin Singletary, 15 carries for 44 yards. Josh Allen, which if you go back and watch the preview streams that we do every Friday, Saturday, Friday, and if we have to shift it to Saturday, we'll do it. You've seen that Josh Allen, the scouting report, and we listed it, said that really we created our own scouting report on the upcoming rival, and we pinpointed and talked about that, the fact that the Saints could not allow the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, to leak out and create plays with his feet. Put 1 in the chat, family, if you remember, and you watched the show and you heard we talked about that. We basically used a similar template to what we talked about with the Philadelphia game with Jalen Hurts, which you can't allow him to leak outside of the pocket and create or extend plays where he can find people downfield. That is exactly what Josh Allen did, and the Saints did not do a good job of doing that. Also, bear in mind that the Saints defense, like I said early on, got punched in the mouth early on, but later they adjusted, which is the trend that I've been seeing with the black and gold defense, is that the black and gold defense has been doing a wonderful job. You'll come out and you'll punch them in the mouth. Then the next drive, you end up kicking a field goal, and then you'll have a succession of drives in which you're doing punts, because the Saints will do a good job of finding out what you're doing, then neutralize it, take it away from you, and then turn up the pressure. So I like that, is the fact that the Saints want to see what you can do, and when you try to do it, they take it away from you. The only issue is the offense is not doing its service by scoring. They're totally inept. They're totally not on the same page. And to a great degree, the offense is deteriorating right in front of us. And we've seen it in this game where this was one of the worst displays I've seen from the Saints offensive line since the Carolina Panthers game, where they don't show any heart. They don't show any gumption. They don't show any intensity, no focus, obviously. And then they get out there and they all got their heads down. Their body language is bad. And then Buffalo's pushing them all over the goddamn field. So, I mean, it's pathetic and tragic all at the same time. All right, let's finish up. All right, and Devin Singh, and like I said, Josh had 8 carries for 43 yards. Matt Beretta was also able to get going. 9 carries for 26 yards, which pretty much their starting running back, Zach Moss, was out. Didn't matter. The 3 of them all together combined for 32 carries for 113 yards to keep the Buffalo Bills offense on schedule, averaging 3.5 yards per rush. Wasn't great, but it kept them on schedule. And, of course, the receivers. What can we say about Stephon Diggs? Just the man that you love to hate if you're in the Who Dat Nation. But Stephon Diggs was handling his business. He got the ball often whenever he wanted to. 7 catches out of 9 targets. And usually when you're throwing that 9 times and you get 7 of those targets, you're going to have a good day. And he had a very impactful 74 yards, averaged 11 yards, almost 11 yards every time he caught the ball, which was a first down every time he caught the damn pass. As long as it was a 28-yard, he had a TD. Now, there was a special play that I remember seeing where you seen Stephon Diggs lined up with Laddie Daddy, Marshawn Lattimore, and then all of a sudden, he did his little thing with his feet, stuck his feet out there, stepped, and beat Marshawn Lattimore bad was just his feet. He didn't touch him. He didn't even talk to him. He just used his feet, and Laddie Daddy was on the ground, and he was making the catch for the touchdown. I remember pinpointing that in the watch party. I said, hey, listen here. That shit right there, we need to take that film right there and give it to Callaway, give it to Harris, and all of our young wide receivers and see, look at this guy's feet and how he operates, and you need to mimic that shit. Because you have to have a degree of difficulty as a wide receiver when you're running routes. You can't let the guy covering you see what you're doing where you're just a telegraph machine. You just this guy is going to cut to the left, so I'm going to let him do this and that and the third. I mean, you don't break down the damn route. You know what I'm saying? Dig in a little bit like the wide receiver coaches say. When you running that route and you see Mike do this, is that you stop and dig into that route. And then, you cut either left or right or wherever you're supposed to go on that play. But if you got a guy holding on to you and he on your hip, you got to know how to not only break it down, but you got to also know how to get that guy. If you got to throw a little arm out there or do a little push where your arms don't extend. It's ways. And those are the techniques that the wide receivers have to learn. It's not just about going out there and running routes, but it's ways and things that you have to study if you want to be the best, or if you want to get open, you're going to have to learn to get open. And Coach Payton talked about getting open. If you can run away from a guy like Deonte Harris, or you can stop. He said you can run or you can stop. Stop meaning if you running fast, then break down and then cut into where you need to go. If the guy up off of you, like Mike Thomas, that's why I love watching film on Mike. Mike, when all of his work is done within the first 5 yards when that interaction is made, because usually what the cornerbacks will do is they'll put their hands on Mike, and Mike aggressively, angrily, and meanly moves their hands off of him while getting them out of the way. And it's a one fluid motion that gets him into his route or wherever he needs to be. And that sometimes he directs the cornerback or the defensive back. And remember, he's double teamed most of the time, out of the way so he can make the catch. So this is a skill that most people can't get. But if you're a wide receiver and you want separation, you're going to have to study how guys gain separation. It ain't all about running away from people. You're going to have to know how to dig into the goddamn route sometime and get crisp and even utilize a little trickery like Stephon Diggs did to Marshawn Lattimore's ass, had him dancing around and on the ground while he catching the touchdown. So, I mean, the man you love to hate, but he produces. That's one damn thing. And, of course, outside of him and what he did, they had a couple of guys named Dawson Knox and Matt Beretta that caught touchdown passes. Dawson Knox could have had 3 touchdowns on the day at the tight end position, which we starting to see that tight ends getting involved. Knox could have had 3 if it wasn't for the referee pulling that away from him, because the touchdown catch that Knox had, the second one, which was the real second win because the referee took it away from him because of the ineligible player downfield by Buffalo. But that man could have had 3 touchdowns on the day for his squad. And of course, outside of that, man, the Buffalo Bills did what any good team would do. Defensively speaking, they neutralized the Saints, one-dimensionalized them, took their offense away from them, frustrated their quarterbacks, gave them looks, and beat them up. They hit him and knocked him down on his ass, and the Saints didn't respond to it at all. They kept the pressure up. They did the blitz, and Leslie Frazier did an excellent job frustrating the hell out of the Saints offense. Let's give it to the Buffalo Bills and Leslie Frazier, the former Minnesota Vikings head coach. Excellent coach, man. He running the defense up there for the Buffalo Bills, and he did a special job with his unit against the Saints offense, who could not, that if you stop him from running, put the game on the shoulders of Trevor Siemian, that he won't be able to get it going. And that was the case, and they did it. But, like I said, it was a good job by Buffalo. I can't take it away from them. They executed just like they were supposed to. They did everything they were supposed to do to win the game in a tough environment in the Superdome. And bam, beam, boom, there you go, Saints are now on a 5-game slide, sit up here at 5-6. And it's just 4-game slide. I'm sorry, 4-game slide. I'm hoping it's not a 5-game slide, but the 4 games in a row, the Saints have fallen up out of this something gun. And we sitting up here looking at it, and the Saints are 5-6 right now. And that, my friends, is a joke of epic proportion. All right, let's move on to this. And give me a chance. I'm gonna set up the lines momentarily. Let's get into another interesting item of news. Deonte Harris appealing the 3-game suspension for the DUI arrest that occurred when he was out in Maryland, I want to say it was. All right. This is from Ian Rappaport, and it's reported today that Saints wide receiver Deonte Harris is appealing a 3-game suspension from the NFL, sources said, one that would take him off the field during the 2021 season. Now, Harris played during the Saints' 31-6 loss to the Bills on Thanksgiving as the punt and kick returner, while also making 1 catch for 9 yards as a receiver. He was informed of the 3-game suspension prior to the game and decided to appeal, which let him play against the Bills and potentially against the Cowboys on the 2nd as the appeal process plays out. Now, notice we said the same thing about what Roger Goodell does. Roger Goodell does this. Roger Goodell waited to, right before the game and said, oh, yeah, you suspended. Right before the game. This was you had all the time in the world. But why right at the last minute before the game? Oh, Deonte, I forgot to tell you, you suspended for 3 games starting this game. Right before the game, bro, for real? So, it's like, okay, the appeal process was a smart move by Deonte Harris, because what it does is he was able to play this game while they go ahead and do it. And ultimately, they're going to kick the appeal out. We know that is probably going to end up happening. And he might not play against the Dallas Cowboys, but really Deonte in this game was impactful. He had a few kick returns. The kick return team didn't really open up any lanes for him to run in, and he was thrown that 5 times and only had 1 ineffective 1-yard catch. 1 catch in the matchup against the Buffalo Bills. So this is Roger Goodell, and that's why people don't like him, because he do dumb shit like that right before the game. Oh, Deonte, you suspended for 3 games starting now. What? And the suspension comes after Harris was sentenced to a 1-year supervised probation after pleading not guilty to driving under the influence, with an agreed statement of facts following a July traffic incident in Baltimore. He's on probation until November the 8th of 2022. Now, the team and player have known the suspension will likely come in once Harris' case was closed, which appealed in the last few weeks. It was just a matter of time. And according to NFL policy and program for substance abuse, absent aggravating circumstances, discipline for a first offense DUI is suspension without pay for 3 games. Discipline for a second or subsequent offense is 8 games. Enormous already is battling depth issues at wide receiver. Recently signed former Patriots wideout Malcolm Perry to that practice squad, and he could fill the void during a suspension for Harris. Now, also, that's not just Malcolm Floyd or whatever his name, Malcolm Perry on the Saints practice squad there, guys, like we've been yelling for a while. There's Quan Baker that's there. That's Aesop Winston, both of which are kick return and punt return capabilities, both of which are very extremely fast wide receivers, both of which have shown pluses during the time that they've been in the black and gold building. And don't forget, you got your most beloved wide receiver that's on the active roster, Mr. Kevin White. For whatever reason, that I guess you stick that into the category along with the Bermuda Triangle and the Sasquatch is why in the hell is Kevin White still on this team? That's like one of them questions that people ask you about Bigfoot or the Bermuda Triangle, or is there a hole in the top of the earth? Those type of questions you don't have an answer for, and you stick Kevin White right amongst those. But yeah, anyway, that's why people don't like Roger the Skunk Goodell, because they handle business like this. You try to take the man away right at game time. But like I told y'all, that's what he was gonna do, man. He bastard so underhanded right before the game. Hey, guess what? Deonte, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, what's going on, Chief? Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, you suspended for 3 games and it starts right now. You got his shit on, it's helmet on, mouthpiece ready to get going, all this stuff on, and right before the game, can I have a word with you? Yeah, what is it, Chief? What you got, Chief? Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that you are suspended. Start for 3 games starting now. It's just isn't that janky? That's janky as hell. Anyway, let's look at this, fam. Inside the NFC playoff picture. We're going to show you the playoff picture right now. The Saints were listed at 7. 49ers say, hey, y'all don't want to play? That's all right. We'll take your place. They are 7 now. You see Philly there at number 8, who beat the Saints. They're on the tiebreaker. Isn't that peachy? You got the Eagles, who own the tiebreaker, and the Carolina Panthers that own the tiebreaker. And, of course, Atlanta, who's behind you, owns the tiebreaker as well, currently, as the Saints decide that, hey, we're not going to play. We don't have enough as a team, play with enough emphasis on attention to detail and a ferocious sense of urgency not to lose 4 straight games, which will affect us in the NFC South as well as our standing in the playoff window. The Saints are currently outside the playoffs window at the 10th spot, 5-6 behind Philly, a team they lost to, and Carolina, a team they lost to. So it just doesn't get any better than this at time for the Who Dat Nation as we see how the team is doing. And of course, you can take a look at the conference standings as you see Tampa Bay position at 7-3 right there, 5-0 at home, undefeated at home. And Carolina, who owns the tiebreaker currently, are 5-6. They are now above you, and now you're sliding ever so closer to the cellar. 5-6 and losers of 4 in a row. This is a long time that I ever thought that I would see a New Orleans Saint team lose 4 in a row. And the cold-blooded part about it, family, is the team is a ridiculous garbage 2 of 3 in the dome. How are you that bad in the New Orleans Superdome? I don't understand. You're 2-3 in the dome? How? Well, let's go over that. Perhaps losses over the Atlanta Falcons, which you tried to reel back in the last few, couldn't complete that. Losses to the Giants in the building is another reason. Well, I mean, it's systemically bad right now, offensively speaking, and it takes a lot. Meaning, in terms of first and foremost, before we even talk about anything else, you got to have the effort, and the effort has to match the effort of your opponent. Not only just match it, but then go over their effort, their intensity. You can't beat teams or anybody, even if you're a professional boxer or you're a football team, basketball team, soccer team, volleyball team, nothing. If you don't match the intensity of your adversary and go over their intensity level, you ain't winning shit. The people gonna steamroll your ass, and that's exactly what they did to the Saints offense. And sadly for the defense, who really are having a bad time dealing with the fact that they are on the field more than half of a 60-minute game, is utterly ridiculous and preposterous, as the offense is so so rotten, so deteriorating, ugly, and grotesque that it pulls down all the levels or all the other units of the football team, including the defense and special teams. That's how bad and stink the Saints offense is. I mean, and we start, and at the head of the criticism line is the offensive line, and you can come out and do whatever you want after that. If the offensive line does not open up running lanes for you to run the ball, you ain't winning nothing. That's the bottom line. So if you get dominated because the offensive line head is not in the level of the intensity, nobody there want to get up off their ass and push the other guy who seems to be in some type of zombie malaise, then we're going to have issues, major issues. And it'll be interesting to see how Coach Payton, who we played the interview yesterday at the end of the watch party, was totally a beaten man. You couldn't, and listen, people was mad at him. I seen the comments on it, but I'm not going to step on Coach Payton. He was dejected and he was totally whipped out. He was there. People going to ride on him. Y'all ride on him. Y'all do say whatever y'all going to say. But the reality is he was a beaten man, and there's no explanation to explain how bad the offense from a running perspective was when it wouldn't even let you run for more than 2 yards every time you ran the ball. And he tried to 25 carries is a decent amount of attempts, and you couldn't do nothing with that. And they were running out of the power I formation with extra blockers out there, the fullback and everything, and he still could only get 10 yards. That's on the offensive line, man. That's on the offensive line. And when you're talking about the young guys, we're talking about the veterans, Teron Armstead, who didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground yesterday. He didn't know when the ball was snapped several times. There were several times where guys ran right past him. He didn't know what he was doing. Same thing with McCoy. Same thing with Ruiz. Ruiz had an opportunity to block 2 guys, not 1, but 2, and miss both of them. I don't know how you do that. I mean, I don't know. But the reality is they are regressing as an offense. Because if you go look at the prior games, you see how they're playing offensively, they're regressing. I don't know what's going on, man. All the thing I know is it's not positive, it's not good, and whatever's going on, somebody need to be pulled out, somebody need to be pulled in. They need to bring some guys in who want to win and turn this thing around. Because listen, we're talking mentally speaking here. Is that all for you to break a 4-game losing streak or a 3-game losing streak, and you know your playoffs is on the line? That should be enough for you to get up off your ass and play well enough to beat the Buffalo Bills. The defense gave you a chance. But for the offensive line that can't do that, I don't know. Listen, you can't do it at 3. I'm in 9-4. I expect you to do it at 4, and you're going to run the same guys out there. What can I tell you, bro? I mean, all that I can say is it takes energy, effort, and intensity to beat teams coming in here. You got to match the energy. And the Saints, offensively speaking, have no energy and very low IQ. Memory lapses, too late to set up the screens, all this kind of stuff repetitively happened in the game. I laid it out and pointed it in the watch party so people don't just start talking about the backups and start riding on the backups. So because the backups are why we lose in these games. No, your offensive line veterans are not executing the screens. They're not executing the run plays. They're not doing anything out there. They did a decent job of pass blocking, but run blocking, they were horrible. Probably one of the worst performances of run blocking since the Carolina game of week 2. All right, so with that being said, that's all the news I got for you right now. What I'm going to do next is this is the reaction stream. So, of course, we're going to go and start inviting family members to come in on, and come on to to come in the building and start saying what they got to say. So we'll see how it is. So I'm going to drop the link, and we'll be at this thing for about an hour and a half here, maybe 2 hours leading up to it. So we'll do it one at a time like we've been doing. No panel this time, but one at a time. So if you want to jump in, let me pin this thing here. All right. So it's pinned to the top of the chat. You guys want to get in here and get your word in? The chat's open. Let's see what you got right here. Hit and do your thing. So feel free, more than one of us in the building, hit the like button, man. Hit the hell out the like button. And join us on this special post-Thanksgiving stream of the Coma entitled Saints Blasted by the Buffalo Bills 31-6. And it is a sad performance, but the Saints are now on a brisk 4-game losing streak and no time to rest, baby. Because when Thursday come around, you got the hated Dallas Cowboys that'll be in the Superdome. That's right, the same Superdome where the Saints are 2-3 at. Could you imagine that if I would have told you to start the damn year off that your New Orleans Saints would be 2-3 in the New Orleans Superdome? You'd be like, you tripping. You are obviously eating whatever DC is sending over there. And I would say, okay, you might have a point on that. But listen, let me tell you something. The reality is that there are 2-3 in the Superdome and better road record than in the Dome. Why? Anyway, that's more questions and more questions and questions of answers of things we'll find out down the road. So we'll get it going. We'll start off first. We got Derek Cropper, Brother Madge Prom's in the building. He's next up, Last Saint, and then Uncle Paulie. So we'll get one at a time. Brother Cropper, welcome to the stream, bro. How you feeling?
What's up with you, Q? How you doing? Who that to you, man?
Yeah, to you, my brother. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing all right, bro. After this game, it made it better. It was Thanksgiving, so we had some food and family. We had some fun and football. At the other end was one of the three that didn't go well. So as long as I was good with the two, I was all right.
There you go, man. To be honest, man, I just want to ask you a question, man, because I know the last few weeks I kind of gave my little take on what we was gonna do moving forward after I seen how we look. Man, do you honestly think that we need to start Taysom for next game? That's number one. And number two, do you honestly see that the way this team is structured now, being with the injuries and with the Deonte Harris situation, right, with the 3 games, do you honestly see us making the postseason this year?
No, not with this current rendition, bro. And I say that because the Saints showed me something offensively yesterday. They quit. They quit with 6 minutes left to go in the game, and I didn't like that. I don't like when what I see. They quit. The offense quit with 6 minutes left to go. You had this guy, Trevor Siemian, throwing the ball to no man's land and all these type of plays. So, I don't know how they do it, man. To be honest with you, I mean, it starts with the offensive line. The offensive line,
right,
was not allowing them to run the ball. I mean, Coach Payton several times during the game was instituting the power eye formation, which is one of my favorite plays in football. The power eye. The power eye, you guaranteed to get at least 2 yards, maybe 3 yards. You operate with blockers out there, your fullbacks and everything, and they was only getting 2 yards, less than 2 yards.
But you got to understand, Q, bro, we didn't have our 2 starting running backs, bro. See, I at least thought like it made sense. It makes sense what you're saying, because in that situation, even with Alvin Kamara being hurt, that's the position I can say, well, we got Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram can get us more than about 2-3 yards. He can get about 4 or 5 of them, you know what I'm saying? But we just didn't have those guys out there. We're known to getting, if Alvin touches it, if he's in there, it's like, dude, it's 4 to 5, first down, the ball keeps moving. Ingram, to give Alvin a breather, okay, he still gets you about 3 or 4. But when I think when I said it before the game started, I said when Ingram said, well, he's ruled out, I say, well, how the hell we gonna get the ball moving? And as you can see, the first few times, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And it's like, well, and then like you said, he was throwing it to no man's land. So I just, too many key injuries, and like you said, lack of them, they gave up, man. They just ain't got no fight. And now you're going into a situation where you're still at home, but now you got to go up against Dak, even though they don't have Amari Cooper, and you still got to go against CD Lamb, Michael Gallup, and you still got Ezekiel Elliott. I just don't understand, even though they lost, but they still scored 33 points. I don't even see how we even match with that offensively.
Yeah, Derek makes great points here, bro. I think what make the Saints offensive line pretty good is like, let's look at it, how the Saints offensive line has been over the prior to this year. Even if you're not Mark Ingram or Alvin Kamara, you would gain success running behind the Saints offensive line when they mind right. Tony Jones, that's how he got the job. Tony Jones got back there and he was running well behind the Saints offensive line. And he's a 225-pound running back. Right. He was making plays. So, I mean, you can run with the Saints when their mind's right. The issue is the energy is not there and their mind is not right. The power, like I was talking about, the power eye formation. When you have a fullback and the tight ends in there and everybody there, you're supposed to get something going. The Saints ran that more than a few times with Coach Payton, and they couldn't do nothing. They averaged less than 2 yards per carry on 25 rushing attempts as a whole on the night. That was absolutely preposterous. At halftime, they had, like, I think it was 11 yards rushing at half. Like that. So, I mean, it was ridiculous. But like I said, I think the issue is up front. I mean, even if you would have had Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram in there running in between the tackles, he got beat the hell up last game because, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Like I said, whether it's whatever running back you got back there. I remember last year the Saints had Ty Montgomery, who
Sure did. Yeah.
he came in there and ran for over 100 yards to keep the offense on schedule. So the Saints offense, if you when their mind's right, you could put Ty Montgomery back there. You could put Tony Jones Jr. back there. Those guys will give you some yardage. They give you 50 to 60 rushing yards per contest in the mixture with how Coach Payton likes to do it. But like I said, the problem with the Saints, of many problems, I think the O-line is the problem because they can't run the ball. And it showed in this game that they just didn't have the will to dominate what Buffalo was doing. And I've seen that happen against Carolina. I've seen that happen sporadically throughout the losses that we incur. When the offensive line just goes out there and they don't have no balls, they have no intensity, no energy. They're out there just going through the motions. And to me, that's detrimental. So how do we overcome that? Man, it starts with them. They have to gain that killer instinct back. They have to get that mentality, that domination mentality back and take over. And what spawns that? Perhaps you're losing 3 games in a row. Your playoff life is in trouble. I mean, listen, this is, and I gotta tell, listen, brother Derek, coming into this thing, the modus operandi for the Saints, if they needed any motivation outside of you making 6 figures or 5 figures for playing a children's game, is the fact that you are currently on a 3-game losing streak. If you lose this game, you're going to fall out of the playoff picture for right now. And you're going to fall further back in the NFC South. If that's not enough to motivate you to go out there and just play your ass off, I don't know what will. So with that being said, I don't have an answer for that, Derek. You stumped me on that one. I don't know how they do it, bro. They got to start with the offensive line, do I tell you that much? Yeah, and that's something, man, you know. And like I say, man, you know, I'm gonna continue to watch the games. You know, I'm same thing. I don't see how we do it, but I can tell every time I look at Sean Payton's face, it's just more disgust. You know, he just got this disgust look on his face, like he's just fed up. So what I just say to that is, you know, as far as next year goes, a change is coming. Yeah, something got to change. You know what I'm saying? If something ain't working, you know, Sean you see how he treated the kickers. They dropping like flies, getting rid of at the end of it. That's why I think he just got this team set in stone right now. But I think next year is when he's gonna start making some major moves. And a change is coming. So that's basically all I can say on that. This is who we are. This is how we're structured. We just, we're going through the motions, man. It's pretty much all I have. All right. Thank you, brother Derek. I appreciate your honesty and much love to you, my brother. Appreciate you. And who that to you, bro? Who that to you, man? We with you. Who that? Who that? All right. That's brother Derek, man. Appreciate the brother dropping some science. All right, let's move in. We got Brother Prime. Brother Prime, you having a problem with your device, man. We're going to move on to Brother Tyrese. You get that fixed. We got Uncle Paulie on the line behind you, and Jay Nasty is in the building. We got him. Brother Tyrese, welcome to the stream, bro.
What's going on, man? How was your Thanksgiving besides the game?
It was actually really good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been moving around a lot, but I'm glad I'm probably got everything set up. Everything's good, bro. And tough game to watch, bro. But we've seen worse in the Who Dat Nation.
Yeah, man, damn straight we've seen worse. I saw those cries that Sean Payton did. I think everybody was ready to eviscerate and emasculate old boy. Yeah. But then we saw his reaction to the game. He wasn't cocky. He wasn't, berating reporters, anything like that.
He was beat.
It was like he accepted the shame. And you know why? I know how he feels the way that he feels, man. Because he don't have a capable quarterback. He don't have Jameis Winston because he out, and he don't got Taysom Hill because his foot jacked up. I mean, Jameis Winston had the same wide receiver core, and he was going ballistic. Like in my opinion, he was going ballistic. Outside of Alvin Kamara, and man, I said Trevor Siemian start. Oh, we're gonna go 0-4. We got a lot of issues, on the Saints team. But it's just a quarterback thing. That's pretty much it. It's just a quarterback thing. You got all these quarterbacks in the league. They got bad O lines. bad wide receivers, but the thing that separates them is a quarterback that can run around and make something happen. You know, y'all probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, man. But look, it's a quarterback thing. Once you switch that quarterback out, you got the possibility and a chance to go on a run. You know, this playoff picture ain't over yet. It's gonna be over if Trevor Siemian start against the Cowboys. The playoff is over. It's time to tank, and we can get a nice wide receiver in the draft next year. You know, a nice fast wide receiver, because them boys in the practice squad are not gonna be used. Okay. That concussion and that foot injury really messed us up. You know, if you wanted to say 50-50 or 60-40 snaps, then the games would have been more competitive. It's definitely time for a change. It's definitely time for a change, man. If Jameis Winston wasn't here, we'd be fine. I mean, the guy was scrambling. He was running around. That's what you need, you know, with a Taysom Hill. You know, people keep on saying stacking the box with 8 people or whatever. I mean, the guy can still throw a ball. You know, it can't be much worse than what you're seeing right now. You know, at least he can score in the first half. You know, the offense completely stopped playing in the fourth quarter. I thought Trevor Siemian was going to turn into Peyton Manning or something in that fourth quarter, the way he just suddenly out of nowhere scored that touchdown. But, you know, the defense gave up. The offense damn sure gave up. And look, man, I got faith in this Cowboys game, man. I think we're gonna win this Cowboys game. You know, I think we're gonna beat the Cowboys, you know, by a touchdown or so. You know, I just think that's gonna be the case. You know, you put Taysom Hill in the game. You know, this offense. I'm telling you, man. Listen, only thing I've been wrong about these past years that I've been on your channel, Big Q, is about who's gonna start as the quarterback. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's the only thing I've been wrong about. Only thing your boy been wrong about is who's gonna start as the quarterback this season. Okay, I ain't gonna stun on you, man. Listen, you start Taysom Hill and that fire gonna burn so rapidly and so badly, man. I mean, lightning gonna strike the ground, sandstorms, tsunami waves, hurricane strikes. It's gonna look horrible and destitute for these opposing teams, because you got the threat of a quarterback moving to the right, moving to the left, ain't nothing work, running down the field, man. You know, so I got faith. Man. Listen, this defense, this Juice Boys nonsense, you know, they can throw that out the window. Okay, they can, because I mean, a Juice Boys team is gonna keep the offense in the game, no matter what. Now, don't get it misconstrued. You know, the defense did what they could do. You know, they got the 3rd and outs against Josh Allen. I mean, don't get it mistaken. The Bills are an elite AFC team. I mean, they're fighting the Titans and the Patriots for that number 1 seed. Okay, and you know, it's not they did what they could, you know, but they did what they could, but you know, they got back on the field, they got toasted. You know, they started doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. You know, like Marshawn Lattimore doing a handshake celebration on 3rd and inches when Josh Allen could have literally, you know, stuck out and got the first down on that 4th, you know. But you know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, Sean Payton's not gonna start eating book. You know. I mean, what you gotta say about that, Big Q, you know? I can't hear you.
Yeah, a good commentary, bro. Great commentary. I just think that Trevor Siemian was an issue. Last game, this last game, Thanksgiving game, he was a big issue. He was throwing to no man's land, overthrowing 6'4" wide receivers. I mean, he's head simply in the game, but what else could Coach Payton do? If you go back and watch the film, they couldn't run the ball. You know, they couldn't set up screens the way he wanted to. It was just pathetic. It was pathetic, shameless ball. And then, of course, the intensity wasn't there. And we talk about reserves. Listen, and listen. If you're a person that play for a professional football team, and I'm the head coach and we got a general manager, and I bring you in here, I know you're not better than the guy that I got starting, but don't you think I know that when I bring you in here? All I want you to do, if injury was to occur to the guy ahead of you, step in, do your job. Do your job if you're an offensive lineman, means blocking. and and executing the plays properly. That's why we practice. If you can't set up a screen in the real game, you obviously can't set it up in practice. So I need to get your ass up out of here. So I mean, what I'm saying is injuries are a part of the game. If you're an offensive lineman or a quarterback that's coming in there, you have to do your part. You cannot turn the ball over. You can't be up the field when you don't belong. You have to understand what your role is and what you need to do. And every individual player has to beat the guy in front of them for the team to have success overall. That's what professional sports or professional football is all about. So this is nothing new with the black and gold insofar as when injuries occur. And I give it's a lot of goddamn injuries. But still in all, did we not understand and know that the Saints coming off the $100 million from the previous season, that they couldn't afford to bring in people and that they will have to win with younger players on the roster? And these young players are good players. It just takes time. During the time, you have to be able to develop, in which you have to be successful and productive. And a lot of these players have, some of them haven't. So the take on Coach Payton now going forward is, can he inspire these players, both veteran and younger players, to be on the same page? Because the issue is they're not on the same page and they're not executing. Teron Armstead, for those, and I keep saying the same shit so we can get a line here, because Teron Armstead, McCoy, and Ruiz were all missing blocks yesterday and wasn't setting up the screens properly. This is out there on field. So where is the commentary on them, as opposed to the people saying, oh, it's the injuries? Whatever you want to use to go to sleep at night to feel safe and secure in your mind, go ahead and use it. But the film is telling you there's execution issues on where they're not on the same page. That's what's going on. The players are not executing. Both starters and guys that were role players become starters because of injury are not on the same page. So how do you do that? That's up to Coach Payton to figure that out, to figure out how he electrifies these guys to get them to get on the same page. But when you are losing like this and you're not used to losing, you're supposed to get pissed off. It starts with getting pissed off. It starts with that, and then moving forward to say, listen, we got to take it serious. We got to handle one game at a time, and we got to kick ass and take names. Don't take any names, but the defense is doing the best they can do. They are responding. The offense is not there, man. They are not there, and they're dragging the rest of the units of the whole team completely down in the drain. So as Coach Payton's unit, he'll have to figure that out. But no, I don't think the Saints are tanking. Tanking is not in the Who Dat vocabulary. So no, we're not tanking for no goddamn draft picks, because that's not guaranteed either. Coach Payton, is one thing I know about Coach Payton, is that he's going to try to win every damn game to the best of his ability. Sometimes he might call a crazy game. Sometimes he might pass a little more than run, and that can kind of incense me at times, because it does. But at the end of the day, that guy out there, your head coach of New Orleans Saints, is not a tanking ass head coach. He's going to fight for every game and try to get the right people on the field. So it's up to him. This is a tough stretch for Coach Payton to be in with everything going on. He'll have to figure out to go, because there's still a lot of football left for family members saying, Q, we ain't making no playoffs. A lot of stuff can happen between there and at the end of the season. And I caution you to don't throw the Saints in they're not making the playoffs basket until after they're mathematically eliminated. Then you say that. But there's always a chance, because that's how it is in football. These guys something could happen and something can turn on. You never know. That's why I refuse to eliminate them and throw them in too much football that show me at times that teams can turn it around and get on the right side of things. So Tyrese, I'm gonna give you the flow, bro. Then I'm gonna move on to the next family member.
Yes, man, you're exactly right. The Saints team is still, mathematically in. We still have a chance to beat the Panthers. Look, the Saints can still run the table. If there's anything that I learned from, watching football these past years, because I've been watching Saints since 2006, right? Is that, this game is made of two things. It's made of logic and emotion. Logic to execute formations and plays, and emotion for morale. And this Saints offense needs emotion. It's very robotic, and just business like. So if you make it, you do it. If you fail, you fail. And we've been failing a lot. And the Saints team is not a tanking team. I've been seeing a lot of people say tank this, tank that. Nah, this team still got a lot more football to play. And get ready. Get ready, y'all. Look, I'm making my statement right here. Next week, if everything goes the way that I intended to go, crystal ball like and all that, 4K, 60 frames per second, I predict us going on a huge run. A huge run. Yeah, that's all I gotta say regarding that.
All right, Tyrese, thank you, bro, for chiming in. Much love to you, my brother. Who that to you, man, and keep your who that head up, bro. We're gonna see what happens, man. It's just a tough stretch of football, and the only thing we can do is see where it leads, man. One game at a time, bro. So who that to you, bro?
You too, man, and get some positivity, Big Q. I mean, come on, man. It's everything's gonna be all right. At least I hope.
I thought I was being positive. I was saying that they wasn't tanking, and they would be in the play. It's kind of people a lot. We kind of somber about that thing because there was nothing to pull out of this game. They got stumped 31-6, and usually when that happens, you're gonna have a little somberness in it. But I think I am being positive. Usually, how I can get. I could be a lot more raw than what I am. So I think I'm being a little reserved and a little bit more positive, not eliminating the Saints from the playoff race and seeing that they can get this thing changed around. So we'll see how it go. But I appreciate you, Tyrese, and I'm going to holler at you later, bro. Who that?
Who that?
That's Brother Tyrese, the last Saint, man. Much love to him. We're going to bring in Brother Prime, and big ups to the fam in this thing, man. Much love to you. Got Brother Prime coming up next, then Uncle Paulie, Jay Nasty, Brother Cedric, and then the OG himself, Brother Jerry. We'll be bringing him in on the back end of that thing. But big ups to the rest of the family members. Thank y'all for joining me in this thing on this Friday stream, post-Thanksgiving stream. And one of the family members was asking me what I think about Jameis coming back. Man, they heard something about Saints not letting Jameis, not interested in Jameis coming back. Well, anything can happen, bro. I think Jameis should be at least given an opportunity. I don't think he will cost a lot of money being that he's coming off that injury. I think and really the Saints don't have a lot of money to spend going into this next cycle unless Coach Payton does something that he's not accustomed to doing, which means he starts with a young, inexperienced quarterback and learns him the rope moving ahead, which is something that he never did. I don't, starting or trying to win with an inexperienced quarterback, say an Ian Book. I don't see that occurring. If you got Ian, unless he breaks his record or ways of doing things. Coach Payton likes working with guys that has experience. Now he'll probably give a young guy a chance down the line after he gains his trust and he can see what he can do. But for right now, I don't see why the Saints wouldn't want to offer Jameis Winston a contract. He's not going to cost them a lot of money, being that he's coming off of this injury. Plus, he'll be rehabbing with them. So why not go with Jameis? Why not? You give Taysom Hill $10 million a season for the next 40 years with all these incentives, these escalating incentives inside of the contract. Why not give Jameis there? And they were winning under Jameis. And of course, Jameis has a good history of playing football here and collegiately as well. So I don't understand why they wouldn't go in that direction. But like you said, anything is possible. We don't know exactly what these people are thinking. But I would actually, see about Jameis first and see what he can do. And that's my call on it. But so let's bring Brother Prime in and get his thoughts on it. Hit the like button, family. Got well over 100 of us in here. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. Also subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And feel free to share the show on your social media feed. It doesn't matter where. Instagram, Reddit, TikTok. It don't matter. Big ups to the fam. Let's bring in Brother Prime in. Brother Prime, welcome to the stream. How you doing, brother?
Who that, Big Q? How you doing? You doing good?
Who that? Yes, sir. Doing really
I'm doing
well, my
beautiful.
friend. How about you?
I got a couple of points I want to bring up.
Floor is yours, my brother.
But before I say that, I got to say this to the Who Dat Nation. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Now.
That's DC's favorite song too there, Brother Prime.
Oh, good. Good company. Good company. Now, I got my list here, and I'm checking it twice and see who be naughty and nice. Even though I'm not into Christmas, I just made that little pun there. Now, let's talk about QBs. Wilson is not going to leave Seattle. Rodgers, I don't want Rodgers. Rodgers is an arrogant little prick. Because after he made that comment about, the woke crowd, nah, he done lost my respect. He's an arrogant little prick. Now, Taysom has been the emergency quarterback the last 2 games. I'm telling you all, something is not right, because you know how Peyton has a tendency of hiding real injuries of players over the last 16, 17 years he's been over here in New Orleans. So something else is going on with him. Jameis is going to be resigned at a cheaper contract. Jameis was doing good. He was improving, and I could see him moving us forward. There aren't any quarterbacks probably coming out. And I know next draft and probably the year after that. Next year, we will get some receivers. Now, on Taysom, again, Taysom, I hope he plays, but I just have a sinking feeling that he's really hurt more than they're letting on. Mm-hmm. Trevor is not the answer. The only reason why Trevor looked good in the 4th quarter, and I wanted to bring this point up before, is because defenses are playing that famous prevent defense where you have a lot of wide open spaces. He's robotic. He doesn't have any emotion. And as far as the offensive line is concerned, I agree with you, Q. They're not playing right, but I think it's about continuity, and they see that Trevor, you feed off your quarterback, and Trevor's not a good quarterback to feed off of. Because if you looked at the game last night, Breeze made an important point. They asked him about how he was when he was a team, and he made a point. The point he made was that he was calling the coverages as the quarterback. But after he left, they switched that responsibility to the center instead of him. So Breeze was with the Saints for 16 years, and trust me, he got to get that experience over that time. And you got to give Jameis that time. So people, please stop thinking about Wilson. Wilson is not leaving Seattle. Aaron Rodgers is a like I said, he's an asshole and a jerk, and he's arrogant. The O-line, you putting these pieces of parts together, and you gotta look at it this way. We gotta be realistically logical about all the comments that I've made and are going to make right now. And I'm gonna talk to you all in the tone of voice that I talk to my students. You gotta pay attention to details. So when you plug and play a lot of offensive linemen that's not used to playing together, because you got your first string, your second string, and your third string. They're all not going to be on the same page, and it was a short week. And we have a lot of injuries. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it makes a difference because your injuries are going to affect your continuity. And when you got Ruiz missing blocks because he probably assumed, you know what they say about assuming, you're making an ass out of you and me. He probably assumed that the person on the side of him was going to do their part and probably didn't do their part. And as far as them getting out for the screens and now setting up the blocks, there's no sense of urgency on that. And I also got to say that I am not surprised that your boy going to be suspended. I told y'all this 2 weeks ago. Watch he get suspended for the Dallas game. I knew that was going to happen. I am not surprised one bit. Now, I think Lil Jordan Humphrey has potential. I think Callaway has potential. I think Juan Johnson has potential. But what's his name? The other wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now. Q, what's his name again?
You said Callaway, Harris, LaJordan Humphrey, Stills.
Stills is going to be going after this year. And what's the other boy name? Marquez.
Marquez Callaway?
Yeah. I mean, number one. Who's the one that's wearing number one again?
Callaway.
He's a keeper, but the other one, Smith.
Traquan, yeah.
Smith has been too inconsistent for me. I know he's young, but he should know a little bit more than what he should be. having a sense of urgency. And that's up to the coaching staff to have that sense of urgency. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all the great teams got rid of their Hall of Fame coaches at some point. How much longer do we hold on to Peyton and Peyton doesn't make the adjustments? Peyton hasn't been making adjustments now for the last couple of years that he needs to. Because I totally agree with you on this fact. Whenever you're down, it shouldn't take us being down 2 scores before we go into the hurry up. And as far as the quarterback is concerned, that's something that you should be going over in practice. Because if you notice, and I don't know if people forgot this, but before Jameis got hurt, they ran the 2-minute offense really good. And Jameis was clicking, especially in that Washington game. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was the 2-minute offense that they were playing at the time when they got the Hail Mary pass for the touchdown against Washington. Look, Buffalo is an up echelon team. We are not at this moment. I lost money on that game, and I have to wear a Buffalo Bills jersey when I get to work. On Monday, it's all good. I already told my coworker it's all good. But we still have to consider injuries. I'm not using this excuse, but when you have injuries, it does mess with your continuity on your offensive line. It really does. Because their communication is not down. Because if you're on the 3rd string, all the practice squad, and you get all the way up to the 1st string, if I'm not mistaken, it's not like they have a mini camp inside the season. So you only have a couple of days. Because let's just say me, you, and Sway was on the offensive line, okay? And me and you go out, and then they add 2 other people. Sway has to know how to communicate with these other people. And they may not be that good because they don't have that history, that continuity together. Because just like, when you have your best friend, y'all been friends for a while, and man, y'all could just think about things, and it's not a lot of explanation needed, and y'all know what y'all need to do to get a task done, correct?
That's a great point, the continuity comment there, Brother Prime. I agree with you.
Because you got to look at all this, man. Look, I said this at the beginning of the year. I was saying 11-6 or 10-7, but right now, I also say that this is going to be a year for all these young kids to get experience. And you make a beautiful, excellent point about the little tips you need, the foot movement. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Laddy Daddy, we just need to start calling him Lattimore because he needs to earn his money more than what he has been these last few weeks. Because he's getting burnt and embarrassed by people, even people that we never heard of. Do you agree or disagree with that?
This game wasn't a good game for Laddie Daddy. I thought, the last couple games he's struggling a little bit, and Stephon Diggs didn't make him didn't look good in that matchup, and of course he was guarding the tight end Knox and fell on for an open touchdown, so he got kind of done twice wrong. So he struggled in the last couple of games. So I mean, overall, I still like how he's played overall. But during this 4-game losing streak, it's been tough because you try to gauge realistically how much of it is they're imbalanced. They're out there over 30 minutes, 34 the previous game, 37 the previous game, 34 minutes. So you look at it like these guys are fatigued. That's half the game.
Right.
That the damn defense is out on it. So how do you then gauge that, with that? So I mean but you largely what you're saying, Brother Prime, I can understand.
I agree with you on that. Because your defense is only as good as your offense controlling the clock and controlling the ball, because when they were well rested, they make less mistakes. And Trevor, I'm going to tell you right now, if they start trouble against the Cowboys, to me, that's a sign that Peyton is throwing in the season. I hate to say it, but it's going to look suspect. It really is. It's really going to look suspect. And let me see if I'm got all my points on here that I want to talk about. Oh, also, it was embarrassing that we got a turnover on a 50-yard line and we didn't even move an inch. You got Trevor overthrowing, and I agree with you. He overthrew little Jordan like he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will Chamberlain. He didn't even put any kind of. He just threw it out there like he was trying to get rid of the ball. Is not the answer. I hope Taysom could play, and I think Taysom will give us at least a good 3 to 4 win window for what? How many games we got left? We got what? 6 games left.
Oh man, let me get the schedule and count them down. I know we got a handful of them, at least 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 games left. Dallas, Jets, Bucks, Dolphins, Panthers, Falcons. 6 games.
Well, you got. Look, if it's meant for us to be there, we'll get in at being 9-8. If it's meant to be, at least 10. But 9-8 might be the record. That might be the record. We might have to get 9-8, something like that, and then hope some things fall into place. But right now, as it stands, Brother Q, we just need to make it through the season because these injuries, man, everything that could have happened to us this year has happened to us. And you see, I said this at the beginning of the year, and I don't know if you remember this. See, all that dancing and having Club Peyton, Club Saint after you don't won a couple of games, stop doing that shit. Do that when you have actually accomplished something. Stop dapping each other because you don't be able to play. That's like my students, and I'm gonna tell you, I've had students do this in the past. That's like having students that's failing my class and bragging about who got the highest F. Well, at least I got a 50, and you got a 30. I'm like, a F is still an F. You're still flunking. You're still failing, idiots. It's just common sense. Common sense is not common. I hear you giggling because that's the kind of crap I've dealt with for 26 years. 6 years teaching in New Orleans, and the last 20 years teaching here in the Houston area. I'm going to tell you, brother, stop the celebration. Celebrate when you have actually accomplished something. Q, that's like you celebrating that when you first started, you got 5 people to listen to your show. You celebrate when you hit that 1,000 and that couple of.
I don't know, Brother Prime, on that. I was happy 5 people was listening to my show when I first started.
But then you wanted more, right? You wanted more, right?
I knew that would come, as I move forward. I just had to keep being passionate and keep doing what I do. And that when the success came, you can't have success, true success, unless you have some level of consistency and persistency. And I do have that. So, yeah, eventually, people more and more will come because they, people listening to you. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree. You got to be able to, you have set milestones for yourself.
Right.
And then you celebrate at those milestones. So I agree with that.
Lattimore. I'm going to make 3 more points. Lattimore need to start letting people eat his cornbread.
We doing this today. We did the Harlem Nights the last time. We're going life this time around. What we doing, Brother Prime?
Yeah, we're going to do that this time around.
We're going life this time around. Okay, I got you.
All right. Sean Payton, I'm going to tell you, Sean, I don't know, man. Ever since he hasn't been the same since he got let go for a year. And he hasn't been the same since he married that young girl. Yeah. And it's not the same anymore, bro. He looked really defeated yesterday. I really miss Mora. This would have been a good Mora moment for this to go off. And I will take my hats off. As you can see, I got my military rank hat on. Take my hats off to Mora because he was a Marine, if I'm not mistaken. Semper Fi, but I'm in Air Force. I was in Air Force Reserves, all good. Stationed out there in Belle Chase. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if we lose, if we start Trevor next week, we're gonna lose, and we're gonna lose bad. That lets me know that Sean is throwing the season away. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if Taysom is not ready, because I really think something's wrong with him, bro, because he doesn't even look the same on the sideline the last 2 weeks. He just look like he's just going through the motions. Why not start Ian Book? What you got to lose? I think if we do lose this game, I think Ian Book will start at some point in the season. I really do. Give these boys some experience. They're gonna have to do it. But for all you people that have a problem with Jameis being a quarterback, remember what I said at the top, and I'm talking directly to you all. Wilson is not leaving Seattle. Trust me. And Aaron is an ass. He is an arrogant ass. I have no respect for him. So let's stop thinking somebody's going to come in here and work with what we've got, because Jameis has potential, and he could lead us to the promised land if everybody's healthy. And I'm gonna just, and I want you to do it with me, Q. I'm knocking on wood and hoping that we don't have this barrage of injuries next year.
Yeah, anything could happen there, Brother Prime. We knew that health is a major part of the success of the club, and it's only so far down you're gonna go without when it starts to really start to impact. And you're just hopeful that your depth can absorb so much of it until you get some of these guys back. But like I was saying, with 6 games left remaining in the season, we shall see if we can navigate this thing back to the calm waters and get out of these jagged, really rough sea area, just to use your nautical term. But Brother Prime, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. I love you, sure, and I love you.
Same to you, Brother Prime. Thank you, sir. And much love to you and Who Dat.
Much love, peace, and soul.
Peace, soul. That's Brother Prime, man. Dropping it, man. And very wise, brother. We always got love for Brother Prime. Thank you. And big ups to the Great Saint Think Tank. We got some more family members we're going to bring here. Uncle Paulie, Jay Nasty, Cedric, Jerry, Hennessy. Brother Hennessy's on the line. I appreciate you, brothers. Be patient. I promise you're going to get the floor. Please feel free, family, to hit upon the like button. If you're entering the stream, you didn't hit it, hit the like button. Share the show's link on your social media feed with other Black and Gold family members as well. So appreciate you. Uncle Paulie, the Great Saint Think Tank historian, is on the line. Welcome to the stream, my friend.
What you say about the Q family?
What's good with it, Uncle Paulie? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Enjoyed some family on yesterday, and it's too bad the Saints family had to endure that root canal yesterday. Good Lord.
A lot of people was mad about you, Uncle Paul, over the last several weeks picking opposition, but your calls have rang true to the chagrin of a lot of the Who Dat Nation family who didn't want to ultimately see that crap. But it is what it is. Saints are now on a 4-game losing streak. You talk about why the Saints lost and what you think it'll take us to turn the thing around.
You know what, Q? I guess I just listened to Hap Laudy too long and Buddy D and now you. And it was the same way with those guys, man. When they call a spade, fans will come on there on the line and get mad and angry. Sometimes they'd have to, cut them off if it get too out of hand,
Yeah, I remember.
People don't like the truth, Q. People really don't like the truth. It's like a family member that's a drug or alcohol addict. And they know they got a problem. You know they got a problem. And half the town know, but they don't come. They don't realize. And until they decide to get some help, Q, professional help sometimes, more than likely, they're never going to get clean. And Q, you've been saying we've saw this for the past 4 years, even before Drew got out of here. How the offensive line would, like Michael Jackson, it'd be on fire, doing the moonwalk one game, and then the other one out there, where did they go? Where did they go? Like they didn't know they was even in a football game, Q. Drew would throw interception at the most inopportune time, or he'd hold the ball too long and fumble it. Bridgewater did it. So the truth of the matter for the quarterback situation, Sean Payton put us in this position, Q. All them quarterbacks that he's passed over the whole 15 years of his tenure, you got to lay that at his feet, brother. We just got to lay that at his feet. There's no excuse for that. Have not been a quarterback of the future on this team. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep on saying it until we draft one. Even this year. I'm not sold on Ian Book. First of all, he's too short. Why? See, Sean Payton just got this thing. It's like an ex-wife. He just can't get over Drew Brees. If that's from Drew staying too long, Q. What? Just bear with me for a moment. What if the 49ers would have never let Joe Montana go? We would have never had Steve Young. Q, it just comes time. You got to know how to let go. What if Jimmy Johnson had stayed at Dallas? If Jerry Jones would have butt out, the Cowboys probably would have at least won 2 more Super Bowls, Q. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just got people that just want to be the. Listen, you got to be the owner. You can't be the coach. I mean, but you know, even if Jerry Jones thought he could be a hot coach, why he ain't never stepped down and tried to do? You know, he can't be the head coach and the owner, so he already know that. Yeah, I'm just, you know what I mean. And it's just one of the type of thing. Q, what you think?
I mean, you can make a lot of great points on it. I think the Jameis. I don't know if we'd be having the same discussion if Jameis wasn't illegally removed from the field to play via injury by Tampa Bay's Buccaneer, grabbing him, dragging him down, tearing, tendons in his leg. So, I mean, I don't know if we'd be having the same discussion. More than likely, we probably wouldn't. But
right. And they took advantage of James. They took advantage of James. James was trying to scramble and trying to beat his old team, and I can understand and see that. And Tampa Bay just took advantage of it. Said, "Oh, you want to run? Oh, we're gonna light you up one good time." And unfortunately, Q, it was on that particular play.
Yeah, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because losing Jameis, who was winning as a quarterback, he had to figure some things out. But losing him like we did, and of course, having Jameis there allowed Taysom Hill to be the utility player that helps electrify the offense. And right now, Coach Payton is trying to keep. I guess he would favor keeping Trevor Siemian at the quarterback position to keep using Taysom Hill as the utility weapon that he needs in the wide receiver room, running back room, or tight end room. And he's an electric player in that regard. So wouldn't surprise me if Coach Payton kept Trevor Siemian and sprinkled Taysom Hill in that thing. So we'll see how it all looks moving forward. But listen, the quarterback situation, it went awry when the guy illegally removed Jameis from the field, and that kind of steered the team on its head. And now we need to run the ball. And now what's going on is the teams are piling up for the Saints to run the ball and saying, listen, we're going to stop the Saints from running the ball and force Trevor Siemian to beat us. And that's the successes you're seeing is that they remove it.
That's not going to happen.
That's
with Steve Walsh and John Fourcade all in one. Nothing from nothing leading it.
Trevor Siemian is the secret. It's no secret that Trevor Siemian can't win the game by itself. He's not capable of that. He needs an effort from the team. But really smart, and the defensive coordinators know it's not hard to tell. You pile up, stack the box against the Saints in the run, and make Trevor Siemian beat you. And if he beats you, then you live with it. But that's the and Leslie Frazier and the Bills defense is showing them, and they're just taking pieces of what the Atlanta Falcons gave them, what the Titans gave them, and the other team that I'm missing that I really don't want to think about, the Eagles, all did during that time frame, and it's becoming abundantly clear is that the Saints going to find it increasingly difficult to run the ball in future matchups, simply because they're going to try to force Trevor Siemian, to be able to beat them. And I don't think that's possible because he at first, you've seen it's been a month worth of football with him at the helm, the 0-4. Really intriguing, though, because you would see it should be a familiarity and those guys getting on the same page, being that they've been together for the last month. But in essence, if you pay closer attention, you'll see that it's a deterioration of the offense because you see guys that it's just guys are not where they're supposed to be. And Brother Prime did say that, the offense to a degree takes on the idea of the QB, which does have its, idea is stamped in reality that the offense then tends to mimic the quarterback at times. So what is Siemian giving the offense if that's the case? So that was a great point.
If quarterback is getting you on the O-line, you play football, you know if your O-line is getting beat, the quarterback holding the ball too long, he's throwing interceptions. He's not. It's just like you get to the point like, well, just forget it, man. I don't care no more. We're not doing nothing. And like you said, just to quit like that, we ain't seen that in a long time, Q. Back in the day, man. I don't care. The Saints could be down 30-3, and would still come out there and try to do something. You know, they let Dalton Hill do a halfback option or something, you know. But just to quit and give up, you know, to say that ain't the Saints pedigree.
Yes. No, it's not. It was very concerning to me to see them give up like that. And it's
They
in
look
real.
so beaten, they look so beat. It was just sad.
They were.
They're like an old heavyweight boxer that's trying to make a comeback. You a boxer, man. Get in the match and just get beat, just like, oh, the referee just got to stop it. It's just so sad. You know, you hate to see that.
Yeah. If anything, if there was a mercy rule in place in football, I wouldn't have minded been invoked with those last 6 minutes.
You're right. It could have got more ugly than that, you know.
Right. I wouldn't upset because really, it could have been at least a touchdown more than what it was. So, I mean, the thing is, I don't know where they go with this because it takes attitude. Like you have to have the attitude. The offensive line and the offense in particular is not exhibiting the necessary aggressive attitude to go at opponents. I mean, they very lackadaisical, very mediocre, very milk toast.
The O-line coach needs to be put on the street. What you think?
I don't know. I wouldn't say put the O-line coach on there, but some guys on the field got to take onus. And I'm pointing at, if it's the offensive line, I'm pointing at Teron Armstead, the senior member of that group, who's been through all kind of stuff, deep playoff runs and all kind of stuff, seen a lot of great football. I'm pointing at Teron Armstead and said, man, what the hell, man? You know, let's get these guys, you know, talking to the rest of the guys and let's get them all on the same page. But it's hard for Teron Armstead, who I got a lot of love for, super cool dude, for him to turn around and tell members of the offensive line, hey, we need to get this together right now. We are losing, when he's the one missing blocks and shit. How you gonna turn to the man to your left or your right and say, come on, man, y'all gotta handle business? And then the guy tell you, hey, bro, you the one that was out there blowing them blocks. What are you talking about? It's hard to do that when you're part of the problem.
But see, Ramshack can't say that. See, it's just something about what they get paid.
Ram hurt, so I mean,
pockets get too heavy, you know.
Well, that does happen. Some of that does happen. Some of that does happen.
You can't run Q. You got a pocket full of crap, coins, and all this here knife and all. You can't run with all that in your pocket. Talk about running a race. You got to take all that stuff out.
Yeah, it's. I don't know where they go with this, man, because it's going to take maybe a players meeting. I mean, wouldn't be surprised that the Saints have like a team.
You hit the nail on the head, though. I'm really surprised Cam Jordan ain't jumped on. Jumped on somebody back there.
It's going to happen because with 6 games,
he's getting tired. I see him on the sideline. He was cussing. He threw that helmet down. He's getting tired. He gonna go off on somebody back there. It ain't gonna be that nice. That's a big boy to hold back. You know, it's hard to hold a little man, but it's even harder to hold a big man when he's mad at you. And that's a strong boy. But you know what? I don't know what happened to do Caspanona. I mean, now the defensive line, I'm gonna get on their butt too. They've been hurt too much and in and out and missing, and Granderson coming out here getting held, and they won't call. Now Granderson be getting that pressure, Q. Him and Chateau, I think he need to back away from that table. He had too many turkeys or something called, man. He ain't in the shape he was last year. Chateau was back, and then you can't keep Malcolm Roach again last year. He stayed hurt half the time. I just, it's like we almost get like Sheldon Rankish back there, and that ain't good. Q, what you think?
I think, I mean, we knew that the Saints, interiorly speaking, had a lot of good depth because they had several undrafted guys with not much of a name that was showing out during preseason and in the training camp. And they continue to do a very good job for the Saints up front, even when David Onyemata was out. Those backup young undrafted guys were in there doing their thing. So, I mean, that was an area I think the Saints are very deep at besides the secondary, the cornerback position. That's probably two of the deeper groups. Even the linebackers are deep, but the defensive line, the interior line position is very deep. The cornerbacks are deep. The linebackers are quite a few that we have that can absorb the injuries, but there's certain positions that are not. We've already went all the way down to our third quarterback. And when you have your third quarterback, things are quite not the same. You expect them, and Coach Payton trying to do what he can do, I guess. But the reality is also that the Saints don't even have a decent 2-minute offense. They don't. They don't even. I mean, in the game, you know, the last two prior games, the Saints don't even their 2-minute offense is
But
not
guess
an
what? With
effective
Drew
2-minute
still
offense.
there, they couldn't
That
run a
takes time.
2-minute offense. They had to burn
Well,
a timeout to get in the 2-minute offense. Come on,
well,
man. That's the
not
worst
gonna
time
help.
not to do that. You
Yeah,
know?
we got to operate the 2-minute offense. We got to get that together, man. I mean, it's a lot of things we got to get together, but it starts with the players, because the coaches they're coaching. We know we have some of the best assistant coaches in the business, but the players have to own it on the field, and they're gonna have to have players only meetings and say, listen, bro, we got to turn this around. Now we take one game at a time. We're only 5-6 right now. We win one, we climb back to 500, and we take it one step at a time, moving ahead. They're gonna have to do it. Now it should have been done the prior game before Buffalo came in, but they're gonna sooner or later they're gonna have to make a stand or go down all the way down into the ground. So I mean,
And that's not
I
gonna be
anticipate.
good.
Well, I don't anticipate them doing that, but then also I didn't anticipate watching the offense literally just quit like they did in the back end of that game. Even if you're down, you still have to go out there and perform. And the guy out there just winging it around
That's
because they
so
can't
true.
run the ball. So I
But
mean,
like you say, look at it like this way though. If the offense continue to struggle like it is, you going in there against Dallas with all them speedsters just at wide out. Then you got Ezekiel healthy. The defensive line gonna get a workout the whole game. I mean, come on, man. This might be a 5-game speed Q before they get their foot. I mean, they just plan on to try to beat the Jets. Is that what they waiting on now?
I say take it one. I'm not even looking at that goddamn schedule. I don't care how many games left. I'm looking at one game at a time. And there's a lot of issues and problems, but we've seen the Saints
Right.
offense that they've given us. They're showing us that they do have the capacity to get some sense of urgency, even if it was an Atlanta game or in the Philadelphia game when they just explode for pointage. I mean, at some type of way, they're going to have to figure out how to win one game at a time. Next opponent is the
Not waiting till the
Cowboys.
fourth quarter, Q.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out. There's a lot of issues going on Capaldi, that they got to get it ironed out, bro, and they got to get it ironed out as soon as possible. So we're going to see. You know, I'm going to be here watching. I ain't giving
Coaches
up.
still have to get together, cause you know, like I said, let them keep fooling around. Q, a new owner's coming one day soon, and what if he or she decide to clean house? You just never know. Because Gail Benson, she opted selling team, so she done got tired of dealing with some things. So you just never know, man. Yeah, like I said, you don't mix your water with your well till your water run dry. So hey, you just never know. They might be talking about relocating. You never know. You just never know. So that's why Sean Payton should have taken it more seriously and really tried to win this year. Because guess what, Q? Even if the Saints do make the playoff, it's more than likely 90% chance gonna be one and done. Because you're gonna have to be on the road, you know, most of the playoff anyway. If you don't get your record back together. And the tiebreakers and all that, we probably gonna lose out in that. Because we lost to everybody in the division, if I'm not mistaken. It comes down to that, you know.
No, you beat Tampa. The only
beat
team you beat Tampa and you lost to everybody else.
Oh, but you still got that rematch. See, I kind of wish we
got everybody on
time.
tap. You got everybody on tap. That's why I said ain't no reason to be looking at the damn schedule at the Jets or the Dolphins when you got the Cowboys coming in. Let's focus at one game at a time. That's all we can do right here and see what happens. I mean, we don't know what would happen. We don't have a crystal ball, you know what I'm saying? All we can do is see what adjustments are made going into the next matchup, the next Thursday match, and we'll see if any improvements can be made. But people believe in Coach Payton. Let's see what he can do, man.
At least I see at least 2 more wins in max, and that's about it, Q. And I don't see no playoff unless it just come down to the grasping for straws because it's gonna be too tight. I mean, the Saints put themselves in this position.
They did. Let's see. I agree, Uncle Paul. They got to climb
but
up.
I'm gonna keep telling the truth, Q. I've been watching these boys for 38 years, so I ain't gonna stop now.
I'm not going. Right, I get. That's why I respect you. I tell it how you feel it is, and that's all good. But Uncle Paul, listen, my brother, I got another caller behind you. But listen, bro, thank you for always jumping in, my brother, and appreciate the great Saint Think Tank
All
historian,
right,
Uncle
we're gonna
Paul.
keep in touch now.
All right, my brother. Peace.
All
Who
right
that?
now. Who that?
That's Uncle Paul. Appreciate Uncle Paul. Let's go to Jay Nasty. We got brother Cedric, brother Jerry. We got brother Hennessy, and my dog CT Crusher. Much love to you, brother Crusher. I see you, and we're gonna get to you as soon as possible. Much love. All right, let's move on. Jay Nasty, welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing?
What up, Q? How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
Was good, bro. How about you?
I'm doing all right.
Good, bro.
Bro, I don't really know what to say, bro. I'm feeling just like everybody else. But one thing for sure, bro, is I've been a lifelong fan. I've cheered for this team all my life. It's been so many years. I can remember when I was younger. I'll be figuring up the schedule, seeing who we gotta beat so we can mathematically get the playoffs. So I know the rough years. But one thing I want to make a point of, man, is this started last year to me. When we started releasing all those guys, you know, our tight end, Cook's gone. They released Jenkins. I'm starting to think, man, you know, we lose Drew. But I had faith in Peyton, you know, hoping he's going to be able to right the ship.
Right.
And I think that when Winston was in there, man, he was doing a great job. But one thing that we don't have in Simeon, he don't hold his players accountable, bro. He's got to hold players accountable. If you remember, when Winston was getting in Traquan Smith's ass on that sideline, he was telling me, hey, you got to handle your shit.
Right.
Simeon don't give us that. You got to play. You said it earlier. You play with passion. Passion, man. Everybody on the same page, trying to win the damn game. And I just don't see that, bro. But going forward, man, we got to be realistic. Taysom comes in, if he's able to play, you know. Sean Payton said that he compared him to Steve Young one time.
He did say that.
So hopefully he might see something we as fans don't see, bro. But I don't know, bro. It's just playoffs, kind of like Jim Moore, playoffs. Hopefully maybe we can get in, bro. I don't know. But I just think this all starts with the front office, man. They've had us so strapped with the salary cap the past couple of years, man. We just can't afford to go out and get people. You know, you got to have veteran leadership. Everybody's gone as far as our veterans, wide receiver. Michael Thomas is out. You know, so what we got left? You know, we got a bunch of young cats. We had your boy, what was his name? Emmanuel Sanders. He looked good last night, but he wasn't on the Saints.
Right.
You know,
he looked good in the Buffalo Bills offense. He really does.
Yeah. And then you look at we had Jenkins last year. Now I'm not saying our cornerbacks look good. I got faith in our secondary. But bro, when you come out and you go 3 and out, your defense just come off the field. Now they got to go back. They tired, bro. They're human beings just like all of us. They got to get out there. They got to move the ball. We got to go down. We got to score. Have we even scored a touchdown in the past 4 games in the first quarter?
I want to say no. I want to say no.
That's not winning football. That's not the recipe to win, bro. In order to win, you got to block. You got to be able to pass. You got to be able to run the ball. It all starts up front. Anybody who knows football knows that a game is won and lost at the line of scrimmage. If you can't block, you can't run. If you can't protect the quarterback and he's scrambling for his life, you know. But when Winston was in, I'm telling you, man, a lot of people was down on Winston. And I had my doubts about him, you know. But when he started, I could see that he was starting to come along. And I figured that he was doing good enough to get us to the playoffs. And I think that the further he would have went along in the season, I think Sean Payton would have gave him a little more freedom in the offense. You know, I mean, he never had that big game, you know, 300-400 yards passing, but he did enough to win. But the main thing he did is he held the players around him accountable, and that's what a leader does.
Yeah.
Simeon's not a leader, bro. I hope that if Taysom can start, you know, but anytime I've ever watched his interviews, he don't seem too passionate to me. I think he might be personally. I think he's kind of got a little chip on his shoulder because he feels he's a quarterback and he ain't been allowed to play quarterback. But that's neither here nor there. He's still a quarterback. He's still on our team. But I think going forward, we don't have Winston, and if Taysom goes in, so now you're taking the element from our offense away. We can't plug him in at tight end or running back or wide receiver. So do you start the rookie that ain't proven himself? I don't know, bro. But just being realistic as a Saints fan, I just don't see us making the playoffs this year. I think this is one of them seasons where we got to know that when your leader goes down, and when Jameis went down in that game, I thought to myself, man, I hope Simeon can come in there and play lights out. But he hasn't done that to me so far. I mean, yeah, he's kind of a few games he looked okay, but he just don't look comfortable. Last night he didn't look like he knew which routes his receivers was going to be on. Like he was throwing the ball too late, wasn't coming out on time. I just think that just goes down to him not having the experience in Sean Payton's offense. And then everybody talked about bringing another quarterback in. I mean, you're looking at a guy that's been there for what, 2 years? That's how long we've had Simeon?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of years, yeah.
He's been in this system 2 years, and he's still having trouble running it. You bring a new quarterback in, a veteran, he's got to learn the system too. So we as fans, man, we got to be realistic. We got to say, okay, what can we do? What we got going forward? We got to have better quarterback play. If Simeon's going to do it, he needs to learn how to start getting people's ass. You got to be vocal. Got to hold people accountable. The running game, I mean, AK's out, but Tony Jones Jr. was doing the damn thing in preseason, first of the year.
Yeah, he was.
But I don't know why we got rid of Latavius Murray though.
Money.
I thought, yeah, you go. Money. So I just want to get your thoughts, man. I mean, what do you think going forward, realistically, with everything I just laid out there? How many wins you see?
Six games remaining. Hard to tell, bro. But right now, if we using this last game, as an indication if this is how they're going to play offensively speaking, you're not going to beat anybody playing like that.
Amen.
So, I mean, something's got to change. That type of brand of ball where you score 6 points and go for a 2-point conversion and just nonsensical football, you're not going to beat anybody with that type of stuff. So changes have to be made. And I'm saying mentality wise, things have to change, and we have to be able to Coach Payton's going to have to figure out the correct arrangement of players to give them the most success right now. It's not ideal because all of the movement on the roster, people in and out of the lineup, it's a difficult spot to be in with 6 games remaining. The plus is you should get Elvin Kamara back and Mark Ingram potentially for the Dallas matchup. What definitely helps your offense a bit, gives it that more oomph. But I would definitely, if I was Coach Payton in regards to his wide receiver room, I would move in some guys. I would try some guys. I would bring in a guy like Easop Winston and perhaps Quine Baker as well, and put them in the offense and see how they look, because we need a little bit more explosion wide receiver wise. And Deonte Harris is fast. Callaway he has some athleticism, but having problems, not exactly as crisp a route runner as I would like him to be. But we're gonna have to move some guys in, some guys out. For instance, I like Tony Jones Jr. and Ty Montgomery, but you got a guy like Lamar on the practice squad, an experienced veteran that is a better running back than both of those guys in terms of his veteranness that could have been utilized. I said, Easop Winston and Quine Baker have more upside than a pathetic Kevin White. I mean, we need to, and of course, we've seen Jawan Johnson out there, wasn't utilized too much. But I mean, we have to find the right mix of players who will give us some success right now. So we will get, Elvin back and Ingram back. But I would like to see some more weapons, some faster wide receivers, because of course you're gonna have to pull on one of them guys. because Harris is facing a suspension from the league. They were going
Right.
to take him away from the Saints right before the game, which is underhanded. But that's what I expect from a bastard like Goodell. He wasn't anticipating him to pull that move where he was appealing it. And I'm pretty sure they'll shoot his appeal down. He'll ultimately spend at least half of these games and the 6 games out on the suspension. And in that case, you're going to have to pick up somebody from the practice squad to come and help you. And those guys, I want to see what they can do. So, I mean,
what about
there is no easy way about this thing. You know, there really isn't. But the mentality has to change. We have to be having more of an aggressive mentality in these matchups, man. And we'll see.
So what do you think about Taysom going forward? You think he'll get a chance to start, or you think we're going to go with Simeon this week?
To be honest with you, I think Coach Payton goes with Trevor Simeon this week.
Yeah.
But why? Why would I say? People say, come on, Q. I'm telling you that because he wants to use Taysom Hill as the weapon. And that's the ideal thing. It's like, well, Trevor Simeon was terrible. Yeah, I agree with you. He was terrible this past game. But Coach Payton is not going to bench Trevor Simeon if Taysom Hill is not like. And Ian Book, the commentary about Ian Book, with Taysom Hill wasn't even healthy enough to even play in a game. And Coach Payton talked about that in the post-game presser. That's what this article is representative of. It was based on that, a commentary that was made by Coach Payton. He explained why Taysom Hill didn't play, addresses his future, all this kind of old stuff. But the reality is that the Saints, at the end of the day, they didn't go with Ian Book because Ian Book's not ready in Coach Payton's eyes. So Trevor Simeon, and Coach Payton does like Trevor Simeon. He had an awful game, and he's 0-4 as the starting quarterback. But Taysom Hill gives Coach Payton the opportunity to use him like how he wants to use him, like every player type of guy, every position player, wide receiver, tight end, running back, wherever he needs him. So I mean, he'll get an opportunity to, and then of course, if he keeps Trevor Simeon as a starting quarterback, he can cycle Taysom in as the quarterback anytime he feel like it. So he gets the best of the both worlds, gets the veteran that he feels comfortable with, in his words. And of course, Taysom Hill, who he gets to mix in his skill set as well. So if I had to go off it, I would say Trevor Simeon starts against the Dallas Cowboys. That's what it is. That's how I see it. Now, if you get Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram back, it does make it a lot easier. So we'll see. But as opposed to how many games we win, you're not going to win any games playing with that type of mentality. Number one, that has to change. And then once they fix it, then you have a good chance. But my mentality going through the season is I'm going one hand at a time, one game at a time. That's the best thing we can do. And Coach Payton has to go to his practice squad, look at guys who've been practicing with this team this entire season, and give them opportunities to come in here and do what they got to do. The wide receiver room, we got to lose Deonte Harris. So you're going to need to have to dig in. And you might as well bring Quan Baker into the active roster and get rid of Kevin White and bring Aesop Winston into this thing. For real. I mean, these guys are very fast wide receivers, and they can help stretch the offense out, and that's what you need. So we'll see if Coach Payton does that. We'll see if he does that indeed. It's not an easy fix, but at the same time, if it was easy, then anybody could do it. And we at Who Dat Nation know we are winners, and this is some tribulation that we's going through. And we'll see if we can make it out. Remember, we're 5-6, and it's not ideal. But the Saints hate the Dallas Cowboys. They're coming into the building. They got a reason to emotionally get up, even though I know family will say, Q, they had a reason. When you're on the 3-game losing streak, isn't that enough reason? With your playoff future on the line, isn't that enough reason? You're absolutely right. I stated that prior to this stream, and previous stream, and during this stream. So what does it take to motivate this team to get it right? We'll find out. So let's see. Like I said, I'm going to stay away from the prediction aspect of how many games we get over the next 6 games. But all I would say is if you play like what you played offensively speaking, over the last several weeks, you're not going to win any more football games. You have to change that.
Bro, all I can say is like I said before, lifelong fan. You know, I could what we had. What was that? 2000 and what was it? 14 through 16, and went 7-9 3 years in a row. So we've been through it before. You know, It's always next year. And like you said, this season ain't over. A lot of stuff can happen. I mean, hell, what was it? The Giants went 9-7. They got hot. Went into the Lambeau. They beat the Packers. We lose. The Saints lose to the 49ers, and they go on to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl at 9-7. So anything can happen in the NFL. But brother, I love y'all. To all the Who Dat Nation, y'all keep care. I'm out.
Thank you, Jay Nasty. Appreciate you, bro. Much love. And who that? That's Jay Nasty, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, we got brother Cedric coming up next. Brother Jerry Hennessy and brother Pat Rich is on the line as well. So we're gonna bring in brother Cedric. Brother Cedric, welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
What's up,
brother?
Big Q? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing?
I ain't doing my voices today. I ain't got time.
No time. Okay. What's on your mind today, my brother? What's how you feel?
Man, yesterday that was frustrating to watch, especially if you had your family over in front of you, teasing you throughout the whole game. And, and the reason, people like, well, why y'all upset? Why y'all? Because we know we better than this. We know our squad is better than what they playing. And we know Sean Payton is a better coach than what he's putting on. This guy can go out there and put in Taysom Hill when Jameis Winston was 100% healthy. And let's not get it wrong. Taysom Hill just got injured, like I think a few weeks ago, like last week or something like that against the Titans. Or what? I think he got injured recently. And when he wasn't hurt, he still wasn't playing, and Trevor was playing. When Winston was playing, he kept putting Taysom in. And now it's like he doesn't put Taysom in at all. I mean, if you could put Taysom in when you have a healthy quarterback in Winston, why can't you put him in when Simeon is out there looking like shit? I mean, make it make sense. And then people want to sit up there and call this dude the offensive mastermind, offensive genius, stuff like that, and bump his head up like he the greatest coach ever, greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, offensive masterminds don't go out there and call the plays like Peyton do. Offensive mastermind don't go out there and waste stupid ass timeouts like he do every week in the fourth quarter when he know we gonna need that timeout later on in the game. He always do that every single week. He wastes stupid timeouts on stupid situations in the third quarter, and they come back and bite us in the ass in the fourth quarter. It's like, how can you call yourself an offensive genius when you can't do the simple things right? When you can't coach these dudes up to do the simple things right? If I see you out there playing bad back to back to back to back, I'm gonna take your ass out and put somebody else in and let you sit on the sideline and be embarrassed. And maybe that'll put a fire up your behind and see what you can do. Maybe that'll make you better than what you is. Because obviously getting you up there going back and forth, that's not working. It's not working. We see the same thing every week. First time Saints defer, Saints get the ball at half. We go out there, first drive, we punt. I mean, Blake Gillikin, he been the MVP of the team the whole season. I mean, the Saints are the only team this season, Big Q. Listen to this stat here. The Saints are the only team currently in the NFL that does not have an opening drive touchdown. We the only team. We sitting there by ourselves. The Falcons was with us, but I think they got one against some team. But we sitting there by ourselves. Don't have an opening drive touchdown. Then when it's time to turn it around in the fourth quarter, then that's when they want to get it right. They want to snap and make a turning point and use a 4-minute offense when they should have been doing that. And it's like, enough is enough. When are we going to hold Sean Payton accountable? And I get sick and tired of every time these reporters hold him accountable, he want to get an attitude and cut him off and tell him to shut up and don't talk. No, you need to listen. You need to respond and do your job, because the reporters is asking you the right questions. Like Amy Just, Big Q, and you know this. When Amy Just got here, she was asking Coach Payton the right questions. She was getting up in that man grill. She was asking him tough questions. And then when she got real nice and real friendly, that's when she wanted to switch it up and old Coach Payton this and old Coach Payton that. And no one is questioning this man. No one is putting him out there when he's costing the team week after week after week by going out and putting in Trevor Simeon when everybody knows this guy is not a good quarterback. When we have an option in Taysom Hill that can put a spark in the offense. He practiced with these guys during the off season because it was a quarterback competition. He practiced with the same guys that's out there starting now. So why not use Taysom Hill as a quarterback? Because clearly his offensive role that he is in, that wasn't working when Winston was a quarterback. So why not just put him out there and be the quarterback now? It just don't make sense to me, Big Q. And we sit up here every week, and we sit up here and people want to call this man an offensive genius. No, offensive geniuses don't do that. I noticed when something going wrong in New England, Bill Belichick, he light their ass up, he put it into their head what's going on, and he tell them and he fixed it. Sean Payton, he don't do that. Sean Payton don't want to be proved wrong. He don't want to be, he don't want to look stupid. And I'm tired of this. I'm sick of Sean Payton arrogant ass. It's like every year he goes out here and do the same thing. And people talking about, well, we won a Super Bowl. Y'all go keep living off that Super Bowl we won years ago. We won years ago. Look at Philadelphia. They just won a Super Bowl not even 5 years ago with Doug Peterson, and they fired his ass. He gone bye-bye. I'm tired of this with Sean Payton. People not holding this man accountable.
All right, that brother Cedric is his line. He must have lost his signal. Thank you, Cedric, for your commentary. It start at the top of the head of the. It does start with the head coach, and I mean it's difficult when a lot of your offense is based around players that are not there. When you scheme and you for your offense to operate through your best weapons, which is Alvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, and then you bring Ingram into the fold, and then you have the way offenses are situated through your best players. So you have option one, option two, option three, and so on and so forth. When those options are not available, you move further down in the depth chart to see if you can get somebody for the offense to flow through. And this could be an issue with the black and gold. When Elvin was out and he missed the last several games, Mark Ingram came in and they tried to flow the offense through Ingram. And then you've seen at times Coach Payton was trying to flow the offense through Adam Troutman. And the offense has to flow through somebody for them to have success. And the key players are not there. So the difficulty is to find out how could we move the offense along the way we need to, So it's not an easy thing at all, man, to be honest with you. And I'm not an excuse-laden person, but but perspective is everything. We simply are not, from an attitude standpoint, are not there. And that a lot of that is tied to the fact that some of the best motivators on field are injured, but where they all feel, they probably stand on the sideline, and that energy can be to a degree transferred off field to their replacements for the interim. But that's why Coach Payton makes the big money, man. These are things that he has to figure out what he needs to do moving forward. So I appreciate you, brother Cedric, with your commentary. He must be really serious because he usually do have his voices and things and his side of his special effects. And Cedric simply didn't do none of that. He was really pissed today. So I got to give much love to brother Cedric. Thank you for chiming in. But listen, Coach Payton's going to take his shots as well. He's the head coach. He's the creator and the mover of the team. A lot of positives from Coach Payton and some and you got negatives as well. So we'll see. This is a very, very trying time. Can the team surround and uplift the coach and get back to winning ways? We'll find out as soon as next Thursday. All right, let's keep going. Let's speed it up a bit, fam. We got several other family members on the line. Moving down, we got Hennessy, we got Patrick, we got brother Rich, and we got brother DeWright. We got brother Jerry. So in the interest of time, we're going to bring in brother Jerry. And then after that, we're going to bring in the rest of the family members as well. So brother Jerry, welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing?
What's up, Big Q?
What's up,
How
my
you
brother?
doing tonight, brother?
Doing great, my friend. How you doing?
I'm still here, thank the good Lord. I'm here.
I'm with you, brother J.
Despite look, all I do is just stay positive and just move on to the next game but I want to pick up what Cedric was saying about Sean Payton, man. I have to agree with him for what he said. With all these, try to run the same plays over and over and over again, and that's not going to win. That's not going to win you like a few more games left. And here we are. Here we are sitting at 5-6 right now. We just lost a bad disaster to the Buffalo Bills. So I have to give Buffalo credit for me because they played a whole lot more football than the Saints did on Thursday night, and it was a total embarrassment. It was a total embarrassment on Thanksgiving night, and Drew Brees being on it at halftime. I mean, Big Q, when I watched the game Thursday night, when Buffalo kept scoring like every possession, I just flipped the channel and go on to the next, go and watch something else because it was a complete total disaster. So I mean, hey, I had to watch one of my favorite Christmas movies, Home Alone. If for everybody that knows what that movie in the chat, y'all already know. I had to flip my channel and watch something else to keep watching that terrible disaster. I mean, you just can't win. I mean, the whole time they scored the whole time, and all we had was 6 points last night. So, and I was watching the watch party too last Thursday night too, Big Q,
Okay.
because I mean, I was just sitting on the couch looking at the television and just shaking my head, just like you're doing right now, just shaking my head. I just said, let me flip this channel and watch something else before something happened because it was just an embarrassment to watch in front of a national televised primetime audience, bruh. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Sometimes you just gotta laugh about it, man. I mean, look, we got 6 games left because and much as we do not like the Dallas Cowboys, they coming off overtime loss uh Thursday night to Las Vegas. So they gonna come into the Superdome next Thursday night and beat us because at least they playing better ball than us because we ain't. I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you, Big Q. The Saints right now, they are just straight up ass right now. Excuse my French, but they are straight up ass out there, bruh. No offensive no offensive lineman protection. Trevor Simeon playing like shit. Running backs can't even make big plays. Every time you turn around, it'd be a holding call. Next thing, and wide receivers can't even catch a snowball in a snowstorm. They can't catch a damn cold, bruh. And another thing, why do you want to celebrate every time the defense make a fumble or an interception? Because next thing you know, the defense gonna be right back out there if the offense ain't doing their job. I mean, I'm just speaking facts, Big Q. I'm not sugarcoating it. None of that. With all these injuries we got and all this, I mean, bruh, it's crazy, bruh. And everybody in the chat, I know y'all agree with me when I say that because, and if you're talking about playoffs, don't talk about no playoffs. The way we playing right now, playoffs. I just want to win a game, another game. Shout out to Jim Moore. I just want to win another game. I ain't worrying about no playoffs right now. I just want to win another game. That's all I want. It's not that hard to do. I'm just speaking facts to you, Big Q, and I'm speaking facts to the entire Who Dat Nation in the chat. I'm just speaking facts, brother. I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, brother Jerry, I feel you, bro. I've got you. Listen. I just want to win another game, bro. I'm with you. one game at a time, bro. That's the best approach
Yes.
right now, because that's all we can grab from right now is one game at a time. Fix whatever we need and move on to the next one. And we got 6 of them left. We got to
Yes.
focus on one at a time, bro. So let's just go out and win a game.
At least one or two. I mean, you don't have to win all 6 games. I mean, just win about at least 2 or 3. Just don't even worry about no playoffs right now, because the way we looking right now, and you talking about and might well let somebody else take the 7th seed, because we ain't it, and we sitting at 5 and 6. Come on. And I hope everybody agree with me in the chat when I say that. I don't see this team making a deeper run in the playoffs. I do not want to see it. I mean, if we just be eliminated from playoff contention, I'm okay with that. Because if you're talking about playoffs, if you're talking about trying to make it to the Super Bowl with this team we got, you are sadly mistaken. I don't see it. I just don't see it at all, Big Q. And everybody in the chat, I know, I understand. We all frustrated, but I'm still ride with this team for years to come. I've been a fan since August of 1996, so that's 25 years. And I've seen ups and I've seen downs. I've seen them make the playoffs. I've seen them even win a Super Bowl. I've seen them had winning seasons, and I've seen them when they weren't winning a damn thing. They would have losing seasons. I'm just telling you. I know this team like I know them my whole life. I mean, yes, you're gonna have winning seasons. Yes, you're gonna have losing seasons. You're gonna have shoulda, woulda, coulda, all that. You can have all that. But one thing that's never gonna change, and I am not changing to go to another team because we doing bad and the other teams are doing good. I'm gonna still say who that for the rest of my life, and I'm sticking with my Saints no matter what. And that's coming from a real certified, bona fide Saints fan like myself.
Hey, brother Jerry, I'm with you on that, bro. And I feel you. We're gonna ride with the squad, man. That's what we do. We're gonna keep it real all the way there.
We're
So
going to ride
listen,
with this team until the wheels fall off, bruh.
there you go. As always, the OG in the building. Brother Jerry, I thank you for popping in, bro, dropping some knowledge and giving great energy to the family members today, bro. Thank you. And I appreciate you, my brother. As always, much love to the OG. Who that?
Who that to you? And once again, hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I know another caller getting ready to come on, but I just want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving and hopefully y'all had a good Thanksgiving with your family and friends as well as I did. So let's keep this ride going, y'all. It's not over yet. So we still gonna be united as a family. We're gonna be all right. I love you all, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Let's keep it going.
All right. Thank you, brother Jerry. Much love to you too, my friend. Who that? Appreciate you.
For life. Who that?
That's brother Jerry, man. The OG in the building. Appreciate brother Jerry. Just stopping by, dropping some science. I appreciate all the family members in the building, man, especially the family members on the line for being patient. While a lot of people, after usually a tough loss like this, the family members need a little time to decompress and and express themselves, and the platform's a great way to do that. So, well, I appreciate you guys being here, spending your Fridays with us. I know it's early in the stream, but listen, fam, I knew that we had a lot of family members to chime in on this thing, so I appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button if you hadn't already hit the like button, family. Please hit the like button in this piece. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe as we get Brother Hennessy. We got Brother Hennessy coming in next, Brother Pat Rich after him, and Brother DeWright chiming in. So, Brother Hennessy, welcome to the stream, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Doing good, my brother. I'm doing real well, bro. Good Thanksgiving, bro. Hopefully, we didn't get the win, but it's all right. We're gonna just keep doing what we got to do until we get it right.
Luckily, I had some comfort food waiting for me at the house after I got you watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Trying to gain a few pounds, whatever. Trying to get my mind right. Trying to relax myself. But I watched the game yesterday, you know what I'm saying, from my seat. I had conflicting as I watched the ceremony with Drew Brees on the field, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, this is a different perspective that maybe some people might. I was conflicted, man. I was grateful what Drew did, but I was pissed off on the salary cap hell that we in and why we don't have what we need to be a successful team right now. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of what's bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Because and I'm a little disappointed in the leadership. I mean, overall, I like Sean Payton, and like I said, every now and then, like I said, I call it every once in a while. I generally like to sit in the background, but when you have a loss like this, I got to come out of the background and say something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And look, you mean tell me you watch these receivers every day in camp, or you know what you got, but you didn't know you didn't need to draft a wide receiver early in the draft, man. You didn't know, you know what I'm saying? You're getting paid millions of dollars, and you didn't know you needed some more weapons out there. Because I'm looking at, from section 17, row 20, 9 and 10, I could see, first of all, them people not respecting them wide receivers at all. They're loading the box. I see 8, 9 people, sometimes 10, loading the box, and there was no room to run. Yeah, well, I don't know if they had room if they would have been blocking correctly, but I mean, they wasn't scanned, and the offense that we was putting on the field, they was just totally not respecting it at all. You know what I'm saying? It was loaded boxes all the time because they knew they were gonna run on first down. At least if Drew was there, and like I said, that's another conflicted feeling. Drew would have probably audible or something else to maybe make him step back a little bit or something like that, whatever you want to say. But with Trevor Siemian in there, I think Trevor Siemian is doing the best he can dealing with what he got. You know what I'm saying? As far as what he's been given to, because I don't really personally, I don't know why we extended Hill. I mean, I do think he's an exciting player, but I'm saying if you got competency at wide receiver and other spots, there'll be no need for Taysom Hill. Personally, myself personally, if you had good wide receivers and tight ends and all this other stuff, and you have competent other players, I like I say, it bothers me sometimes when I see Taysom Hill on it, and I know I might be a little wrong, or I could be wrong about how I feel about the situation, because he is a good player the way he's being utilized at times. But when you're using a guy like that, that tells me you don't have other things on the team. You got deficiencies. Because if you're a quarterback, let him be a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If he whatever he is, if I'm just like I said, it just bothered me to watch that game yesterday. I was practically pouting watching that thing from the stands and watching the little halftime show honoring Drew and all this. I'm like, man, look. I mean, you just can't go to the casino and blow all your little money at one time. Then all of a sudden you ain't got money to buy no dinner for yourself on the way home. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make no sense. You tried to go all in on these little 2-3 years. My opinion, like I said, he should have been gone 3 years ago. I know I'm wrong for what I'm saying. People don't agree with me. I sound crazy. But man, the man should have been gone. You should have started rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Why should you gamble? Why you risk your future? And I mean, I know we was close. It seemed like we was close, but we was just, you know what I'm saying? We was far away. When ultimately we didn't succeed, and now we taking a lick right now for what for what you was what you was trying to do earlier. I think you'd have been a lot smarter if you'd have said, "Hey, look, man, I need, get me some talent here, give me some talent there." I mean, man, these receivers is. I mean, look, I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. Like I said, I was frustrated watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna cut it off because before I start sound like I'm not making any sense because I'm so frustrated on what I'm saw, and I'm getting upset all over again off of what I saw yesterday. But I'm like, man, man, people spend real money to watch these people, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't spending Monopoly money to watch the game. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I understand it's entertainment. I took my lick, whatever this and that. Hopefully me binging and eating didn't make me too fat. Trying to deal with all what I saw. But your lineman didn't block well. Your receivers ain't getting open. And I'm like, man, do you really think you that smart that people can't see you ain't got nothing? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to Sean Payton. You know what I'm saying? You so smart that you think you're gonna find Lance Moore and Marcus Colston and you're gonna build you need talent. You need competency at these positions. You can't just keep on, hey, my scheme gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that works some of the time, but sometimes smoke and mirrors don't always work. You got to have something behind that. You know what I'm saying? You can't trick your way into to success. Because somebody gonna really say call your bullshit out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Callaway at best a number 3 receiver. The rest of them cats, I don't respect them. I don't think the league respects any of them. Harrison, yeah, that's another guy. Good third, fourth receiver. But the rest of them guys, man, I mean, like I said, we made a living with Lance Moore, Devin Henderson, all these different guys. And some of them guys was like Devin Henderson, I think he was like, what, second round pick, right?
Yeah.
I think it was second or third, something like that. But you can't come out here with people that, will just come off this, I don't know how many undrafted free agents we got on there, but I think we have quite a few. But
yeah, quite a few.
But even with that, you even got the guys that are drafted, they wind up don't pan out. So I don't even know what the success rate or the failure rate of people that's undrafted. I'm sure it's a lot higher than drafted people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I just can't believe a person sitting on it. Like I said, I'm a regular guy. You mean tell me he didn't know he had deficiencies at that position and he getting paid to know this? Does he really think he that smart that nobody else is going, these people not going to load the box on you? You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna just get you a reaction on what I said, or even if you can come up with something. Look, I'm gonna get off the phone, and I'm just going because this ain't gonna change anything. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there next week supporting them again. I think we're gonna get the L next week, but I hope I'm wrong. I think Dallas, they ain't that great of a team, but at the very least we know they got talent. We knew they got some talent. Now, I don't know about their coaching, but I think they got talent. But thanks, Big Q, for letting me vent a little bit.
It's all right, Brother Hennessy, man. That's why I get in your way, man. A lot of family members just need to get it out, man. It's a tough loss in 4-game losing streak with a blowout loss at the end of it is the worst way. So I mean, it's totally fine, Brother Hennessy.
All right, thanks, man. I'm a bow out and let somebody else take over.
All right, thank you, my brother. Who that to you?
All right, who that?
That's Brother Hennessy, man. Appreciate Brother Hennessy and that sucker. Much love. Appreciate the family members tuning in. Hit the like button if you hadn't already. Hit it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you, Brother Dada, for your super chat. My friend, he says, my son told me during the draft, he jumped up and down. Pops, we need to draft 2 wide receiver. Now, I swear he was right. So Dada says, son said the Saints need a wide receiver. Coach Payton felt comfortable with what he had. And of course, the Saints had Mike Thomas set to come back middleway part of the year, which was the understanding at the time. And Coach Payton felt like the addition of guys like Kenny Stills, where later on, and Chris Hogan would help to absorb whatever they needed to absorb going into the season. But it didn't work out as Mike had a setback in his recovery, which ended his season. The Saints were reaching at guys like Odell Beckham, Darius Slayton from the New York Giants, and nothing ever became of it. As Coach Payton stayed with what we got, and that's where we are right now. So thank you, Dada, for that. Appreciate you. Wide receiver Saints. No, they didn't go wide receiver. They went Peyton Turner, the defensive end, who's currently on the IR. So, yeah, it is what it is currently. All right, brother Pat Rich, the right, and my dog CT Crusher is on the line. Let's see if we can get brother Pat Rich first, and in the interest of time, we're going to kind of put everybody together. We're going to group them toward the end because we're getting close to the cutoff point. So, brother Pat Rich, welcome to the stream. Brother DeWright and CT Crusher, all welcome to your family.
Yo,
How y'all
man,
doing?
happy holidays.
What up?
Happy holidays
to y'all, man.
Happy holidays.
Hey, bro, look, I know y'all see how this fire going right now. It's going up and down, right? But I want y'all to know something, bro, okay? We about to toss a couple of things in the fire tonight. All right, for one, we tossing the glasses. Them shit's gone. They gone, all right? Two, we tossing the doggone do-rag. That son bitch in the fire, too. For three, we tossing, hold up, the Waffle House menu. The Waffle House menu, it's got to go too. All right, there it is. Oh, hold up, fire going low, but we're going to get it back right. All right, now, number three, Taysom Hill socks and his shoes that he wears during the game. Them shits got, well, not Taysom, what that boy name is, got Simeon. His socks and shoes that he wears during the game, they got to go too. Goddamn, including with the offensive line. So let me get them back. Well, yeah, put them back on the fire too. Hold up, the whole team hired skateboarding. Hold on, fire got to build back up one more time now. All right, the whole team hired skateboard. Oh, you see that skateboard? You see how they skating across the damn field? It's gotta go too. Man, come on, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So many things gotta go, bro. So many things gotta go, man. All right, bro. One thing about it is this here that we're now sitting, in a 5 and 6 spot. 5 and 6, man. That doesn't do it for us. We are perfectly capable of being an elite team. I look at Trevor Siemian and I watched something that Drew Brees said last night. That this guy is sitting there and he becomes Stonehenge back there in the pocket. You know what I'm saying, bro? He doesn't step up, bro. Offensive line is trying to block. And he doesn't feel the pressure that's around him. He becomes flat-footed back there in the pocket. So once you do that there, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you're just looking downfield and you're thinking that these guys are going to block for you. Man, you got to make some type of movement up in the pocket also. You know what I'm saying? It's just not on the offensive line. It's on him, too, to have that clock in his head that he's supposed to have. Wide receivers can't get off dick. What happens is this here is that them dudes is coming up, jamming their ass, bro. And I told y'all before, it's like they can't do anything. They can't get off the jam. And once they realize, we can jam them, and we can put 8 in the box, 9 in the box. Man, come on. How you gonna even run the ball? You know what I'm saying? You don't even have nobody back there you fear. So, but what are we talking about? But we're always putting our defense out there on the field. We're asking them to be great all the time. We asked them yesterday to be great for 37 minutes, man. 37 minutes almost, bro. We asked them to be great for that time there. I mean, come on, bro. At some point in time, man, you're going to become devastated, bro, because you're constantly going out there. 2 interceptions. You couldn't do shit with it. All right, right now, Trevor Siemian is not the answer, and I understand that. Also, at the same time, you got Taysom. He's on the bench. You got Ian Book. If Sean Payton drafted him in the 3rd round, why is the dude capable and even ready to even play? You drafted him in the 3rd round. You really liked him. That's according to Sean Payton. You really like this cat. And you have not even tried to put this cat on the field to even see what he could do. I mean, bro, come on. Even with our wide receivers, you dressing out these clowns. I'm talking about straight clowns. You dressing out these clowns and you talking to a sports stooge, okay? I'm a stooge. I know I'm a stooge. But still, though, bro, you got Ian freaking Book, bro, right there. And you don't even want to play him because you're like, oh, well, we want to develop him this, that, and man, look, throw him into the fire. Shucks on it. Put him out there. See what he can do. He can't be no worse than Trevor Siemian. I mean, like, Trevor Siemian, you seen what has happened.
Right. But
I mean, defenses are playing prevent. You know what I'm saying? Like in the fourth quarter, it's like, all right, let him get something. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can't complete the shutout.
But Pat, what you think they gonna? What's good? Happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. First off, but I mean, what you think a defense is gonna do with a rookie quarterback? They hardly know what he's doing on the field.
Ooh,
It's not like you know that dictates everything, brother. You saying throw him into the fire? You know, throw him into the fire means that Patrick Mahomes never had Alex Smith, and he never got to develop into the quarterback he is today and take the reins. We can't throw people in the fire. If we throwing him in the fire, then we throwing the team in the fire. Then we throwing
the silver lining. The Saints entered Nissan Stadium as the.
Yeah, but you're doing that now.
I thought that was somebody having a take right fast.
Me too, huh?
I mean, but you're
actually stop talking. But we can't. I don't think we do that. You know, I think Ian Book is what he is. Every time I think about a quarterback that hasn't touched the field that's been here, I think about Chase Daniels. I think about Garrett Grayson. I think about Luke McCown. These guys was here and didn't sniff the field. So that doesn't surprise me that Ian Book is not dressed out, that he's not even having intentions on being in the game. You know, that's Sean Payton. Sean don't hardly trust himself walking on the field, especially these days.
I just put the Waffle House menu in the fire, bro. Come on, man.
He gonna write it on. He gonna write it on some toilet paper and laminate that shit. That's what Sean Payton do. He gonna find shit. That's the problem. That's the craziest ways about it right now. I don't really see a lighthearted coach. I see somebody that's always thieving, stressed out, always brooding in the back of his mind. What's going on? You know, things has fallen apart like Post Malone, if you will. We don't know what to do. You know, I don't to my brother that they called prior. You know, it's not about us thinking Kenny Stills is a world beater. It's not about us thinking, you know, Lamar Miller or Jalen McCleskey or you know, all these other people we sign, even Mark. We don't look at them as world beaters or that can change a game. You look at it from a business standpoint, and if you ran a business and you had a budget on your advertisement, then you would know exactly what the hell the organization going through right now, which you probably do in real life. So why do you think out of nowhere we could just grab talent, top-notch talent, to come to the team when we don't have no money to give them? And Sean, Mickey always telling us that, but nobody want to listen to that.
Brother Crusher, do you feel this here? Do you feel that ego is the anesthesia to the pain of ignorance?
I feel ego is a byproduct of having a lot of moxie.
I haven't got on
and having, you know, having a heightened sense of actualization, but ego is also a catalyst to success, and it also could be one of your greatest assets if it's used right, learned from. It's not such a bad thing. I mean, to disrespect people showing Sean Payton is crazy. I mean, we beat the Rams in 2000. Cool. First playoff win. The next time we went to the playoffs was Sean Payton. The whole concept of us having self-respect in our team is Sean Payton, period. Disagree with his play calling, his tendencies, propensities, his quirks. But the whole tendency, the whole notion of us having self-respect in a team is the concept of us having success. That's predicated on the head coach. He gave us that. So why would people now want to take that, neglect that, negate that, and act like he wasn't the person in the first place that gave us the reason to have dignity in the Saints?
Well,
we got to remember what we say, stuff. You know, the universe never falls on deaf ears. The universe hears everything you say. And you talk about Sean Payton leaving, guess who we gonna get? We not getting Lincoln Riley. We're not getting Kellen Moore. We're not getting Jimbo Fisher. We're getting a Dollar Tree coach. We're getting a struggling coach. Love him to death. Was a Saint. We're getting the Dan Campbells of the world. We're getting the Matt Gacy's of the world. We're getting the Matt Nagy's of the world. So
is it safe to say
you
this?
want Sean Payton not to be our coach, and you really gonna see another thing about the negativity is, I get it. Criticism is vital, but one thing that got to go hand in hand with criticism is empowerment. And a lot of times we get on here and we quick to criticize, but we hesitant to have empowerment. We can say something wrong with the team, but we also could think of ways to try to fix it and not just, speculate and have conjecture and talk shit and cut promos and have attitudes,
I'm not talking no shit on this one here, Brother Crusher, but is it safe to say this here, though, that, all right, it's like you going in on being in a relationship, right? Why would you leave this person that you know that you already probably cheating on you or whatever? Like, why would you leave that person for somebody else who's gonna cheat on you again? For somebody who you don't
worse. Right. They got a whole family on the other side of the country that's wiring money to his illegitimate children in Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah.
So be careful what you say. I know Brother Paulie always is speaking facts, and that realism is very crucial. But the thing I have a problem with is the fact that he speaks it so much that it's almost like he's inviting the hardships. It's almost like he wants that back to commiserate instead of saying, damn, we done came a long way. We probably got a long ass way to go, but we done came a long way. And that's a detriment to me. I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with the negativity. I also disagree with me being a wrestling fan. Are you DX or NWO? Are you Trevor or are you Taysom? And we all got the same colors on. Don't you think that's mighty reflective of the country we living in right now, that's planting seeds in our mind to have hatred and spew vitriol and want to be right all the time and be narcissistic?
Well,
we got to take a step back. We got to realize, first off, think logically. Taysom Hill got some injuries right now. Taysom Hill is being limited on the field, not because of a coaching decision, a schematic decision, a strategic decision. He's literally hurt. And just like Alvin Kamara and his injury, Taysom has a lot of obscurity around his injury. People really don't know what's going on with Taysom. That's why it's so mysterious why he's not on the field. Alvin Kamara got knee troubles. Okay, what is that? Nobody knows. They don't want the public to know. He wants Taysom Hill to stand there on the sideline like he's healthy and can pull the damn trigger at any given moment. It ain't working. But that's Sean Payton. That's what he's trying to do.
Do you think that one of our problems is this here, is that we don't have our old quarterbacks coach, Joe Lombardi, right now? I mean, like, he's down there with Justin Herbert in Chargers land. And I think that, the awareness and, Joe Lombardi being, withdrew for so long at one point in time, has given us, a disadvantage right now because we don't have him. I don't know who our quarterback coach is right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just ponder about those things, man. D, I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, y'all take the floor, please. I'm sorry. I apologize. I would just, a lot of times I come on here and I'm hollering and I'm being boisterous and stuff, but I really want people to realize, I want Saints Nation to realize that I'm not gonna say anything that's not of empirical knowledge, of logic. I'm not gonna come in and splurt things because words are infectious and they especially the negative ones.
Right.
And the boisterous ones. They go faster than the calm and volitional ones. And I want to let people know that I'm a very cerebral person. I'm calculated. I even was hesitant to call tonight because I am too overwhelmed. That did hurt.
All right.
That brought back some dark memories to see our team look so empathetic and indifferent.
Right.
So
I feel you. Could I say this?
Crusher, thank you, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
I too believe that when you put words out there, you have a tendency to create, words carry power. And, I do understand that your words are who you are. But let me say this. We've tried Simeon, and we've tried Simeon for 3 games now. And he have a tendency to come on at the fourth quarter. I feel, in a sense, just like some of the other brothers. At this point, for Simeon to try to run Sean Payton's offense after 2 years and be unsuccessful, because instead of taking a 5-step back or a 7-step drop and then stepping into the pocket, he still don't know how to do that as a quarterback.
I agree.
For him to still not have the ability to throw a receiver open after being in the league for so long as a QB, I don't have a problem with Sean Payton. I have a problem with the person that he chose to do what needs to be done with what we have. You cannot, if you're a quarterback and you have receivers that can't separate, then automatically it should tell you I have to throw the ball. And what that means is Trevor Simeon has a confidence problem with placing the ball. You see that because last night
he has no touch.
He threw maybe 4 or 5 passes behind the receivers that were at least a step on the DBs. And you also saw a pass that he drew to Traquan Smith, and Traquan clearly had the guy beat, but Trevor was just late on the pass. So that's a confidence problem. Mm-hmm. And Payton can't cure that confidence problem. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let me just say, I do believe in being insane. When you're trying to make something work, when you're trying to create and do the same thing, Sean Payton's offense is predicated on timing, execution, and perfection. And we don't have quarterbacks that do that. We had one quarterback that did that who spoiled us for 15 years because that was his game. And Sean Payton designed his offense to run on Drew Brees' capabilities. This. Let me tell you why I personally feel it's I'm not a big Ian Book fan, no. But I do believe this. When you talk about a kid that's going to sit in the pocket and not get destroyed and extend it, that's what Ian Book did his entire career. Mm-hmm. That's where the NFL is going. The NFL is not designed no more for the drop back QB. That's going. Mm-hmm. That is history. And like you said, I heard you made a comment that, well, if you put you know, a young quarterback in there, you do understand that the defense is exactly. Now, those were your words that you put out there that the defenses, if you put a young quarterback out there, is going to see him and going to take their chances. I agree. But this is where I see the difference. Taysom Hill is a two-read quarterback. Sean Payton designed plays for Taysom Hill to do two reads, your first read and your second read. Once Taysom Hill starts to move, he don't look downfield anymore. That's not Ian Book's problem. Because Ian Book is not going to take off. He's going to take off, but he's going to constantly keep his eyes downfield. That's a difference when you talk about a defense that's playing you man to man and that's putting 2, 3 people or 4 people in the box. Well, now you're leaving people on the island by themselves where Ian Book can extend the play. And if he extend the play, guess what you just did? You just gave a receiver more time to separate. See, Sean Payton's offense is designed for somebody to drop back, sit in that pocket, wait for that thing to develop. We've seen for 3 games, man, that don't work. That don't work with the new DBs and our slow receivers. Your plays are taking too long for them to develop. I haven't seen a slant route in Sean Payton's offense in the last 3 games. And I'm thinking to myself, now I do see drags where the dragging is underneath or the drag is around the corner, but I haven't seen a slant route. And I'm thinking to myself, are we seriously going to play this offense with that takes at least 3 seconds for the route to develop? That's history, man. And you look at Buffalo. Buffalo ran slant routes like crazy. You look at the Eagles. The Eagles ran slant routes like crazy. Everybody running slant routes, and I'm like, Sean Payton, if the guy's playing 3-4 yards off your receiver, throw a quick slant route, get the ball out of his hands. Your offensive line is not being as protective as they should be. That ball needs to come out. Well, we go do a swing pass to Mark Ingram. With a linebacker that's beaming at him, that ain't gonna be effective. You better do a Texas route where he go out and come back, where he can beat that linebacker. But if you think you can just go and throw a wheel route, they go kill that. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? As we go along as Saints fans, Sean Payton got to do some deprogramming of himself, man, because the players that he have that can't execute and for us to just think to ourselves, well, what we got to do is we got to dial it back to run the ball. I get that. But, Sean Payton have a tendency to run the ball on first down, pass on second, and now we're third and 8. With the English, we can't be in those third and long situations because we can't execute. You can't execute a third and long situation with the offense running this same offense that we've been doing. So with that just being said, I'm thinking, hey, man, you know what? It's about time that you change what you do. And why not let the kid be under a little bit of fire? What is it going to hurt? What is it going to hurt? Every new quarterback got to learn the speed of a defense. And I don't think that you just throwing in the towel or giving up. What you're doing is you're giving yourself the ability to say, you know what? What if Trevor Siemian goes down? We've had that kind of luck all year. Somebody got to be ready to go. We're losing 30-6. Put the kid in. Let him get his feet dirty. Let him get his practice because he's going to need it. He's going to need it. So, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to close the door on someone, and I haven't given him an opportunity to even get out there with at least with our number 1 line. The kid haven't even had an opportunity to get out there with our decent old line. Give him a chance. Okay, so Callaway can't run away or do contested catches. That's true. But what if you got a quarterback that can extend that play a little bit longer? Then maybe he can get away. See, let's not just take the dynamics of what we're seeing under Sean Payton's concept and saying, okay, that's the end all. No, it's not. Because believe it or not, Sean Payton going to have to change his mindset of his offense. Because, as we see, the NFL is getting to the point where, man, you're not going to just sit in the pocket Why? Because the D linemen are running 4.4s and they're 6'5", and they're 280 pounds, and they coming at you full speed. So guess what? Being a statue, that was Drew Brees and Tom Brady days, bro. That ain't happening no more. I'm sorry, but it ain't happening no more. You got the flow, Q.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate Brother Pat Rich, Brother Crusher, and Brother Pat Rich. 3 very intelligent brothers, passionate about the black and gold. I'd like to give a shout out to Sofa King the Great. Thank you, fam. He says, "Who that?" from Miami. Brother Q, thank you for your hard work and passion for the black and gold. Much love to you. Thank you, family, for your super chat. And thank you for your commentary. And appreciate all the family members, including Sofa King the Great, for being on the stream and making it what it is. The family members are just excellent. But let me do this, family. I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity quickly because I'm running out of time here. Let's start with Brother Pat Rich. Let's start with Brother Patridge. Let him finish his quick thoughts. Brother Crusher, and then of course Brother DeWright. Quick thoughts, and then we got Rich. We're gonna bring in Rich too to the stream too, and we're gonna get Rich's commentary after that. So Brother Patridge, quick thoughts for in the stream, and then we're gonna come back around and end with Brother Rich.
Man, Brother D, look, bro, you said a lot, man, that went ahead on and it resonated with me, bro. And like I said, before, we need to give Ian Book that chance. Throw him to the fire, bro. Go ahead on, see what happens, man. Because I mean, like, if you're going to just sit there and be null and void with this quarterback who we drafted in the 3rd round, bro, then shucks, why in the world did we even draft this cat? Besides that, there, bro, defensive line, hey, look, they're gonna do their thing, bro. They're gonna always be, who they are right now. I mean, linebackers playing lights out. Cornerbacks, they're susceptible at times. But the wide receiving core, bro, like you said, man, we need some type of movement in that pocket for them to at least, extend the play to get open. You know what I'm saying? Because then that goes in on that builds their confidence. That builds the quarterback's confidence. That builds Sean's confidence on what type of plays he's going to call, a stretch play or whatever. It builds confidence. It builds, something to where they can kind of gain some type of traction beneath them. But right now, that's not what we have. What we have is, confusion on the football field right now. We're unorganized. We're not getting some type of gel, and that's what we need right now. By us not having that gel, we're suffering. So let's just go ahead on and let's dial it back, man. On the hey, look, we need to do this, we need to do that. Hey, bro, let's just dial it back. Let Sean take care of this when he got to take care of, bro. Because hey, I'm not getting paid by the Saints. Are you? We're fans. We're fanatics. We have an opinion. Yes, our tax dollars go towards that piece. That's the reason why we want to see them win. That's the reason why we want to see them succeed, so that way more people come and buy our merchandise and stuff like that, and take, more of this burden of taxes and stuff like that off of us. But that salary cap, though, definitely. What did we do there? Mind blowing. Don't know what in the world we're going to do. This year they say that, it's supposed to go up. If it's supposed to go up, then hopefully we can go ahead on and obtain the players that we need to obtain. But right now, though, let's just stick to the script. But we got to throw that Waffle House menu away, and we got to throw that Dennis Allen menu away right quick and fast, and regroup, man. You know what I'm saying? The definition of insanity is to do something over and over again and expect the same results. But right now, we're not expecting the same results. We're expecting better results than what we had before, because we have somebody who can actually supposedly throw the ball downfield. Downfield. That's all we're asking for. But we can't get that because we ain't got wide receivers. Q, let me get off before I get upset behind this bullshit. Yeah.
All right, Brother Patridge. Thank you, man. Crusher, it's on you, my brother.
And, some quarterbacks, some rookie quarterbacks don't bounce back from the hardships that they have. You Sam Darnold's of the world and Mitchell Trubisky's. That's the majority of the quarterbacks that kind of get psychologically burnt when they get in the game too early, and I wouldn't want to take a chance on him because just sustaining his faculties. But I do agree with y'all, and I totally agree with Mr. D about the reprogramming and rewiring of Sean Payton. He sometimes it seemed like he's still in the past with his play calling, with things that would have worked. And he sticks to it. Those fourth down attempts was atrocious. That play he called with Tony Jones trying to run it. I mean, they knew exactly what was going on. So, we throw the word genius around. It's a hyperbole most of the time. It's a figure of speech. But we have to understand that geniuses only stay geniuses for so long, because as humans, we adapt and we outthink the other one. And geniuses don't stay geniuses. They might be leaders. They might be efficient in the way that they think about things and pragmatic and exclusive, but a genius is a snapshot. Ideas are geniuses. I don't really believe people are geniuses, because that doesn't last long. What the genius is comprised of does, but this mere title of genius doesn't last long, because people are going to figure it out. That's the NFL. Things you do on the field, people are going to figure it out. You're going to have to keep thinking. And I do think that Sean Payton is trying to do that. I think, honestly, Jameis Winston hollering at Traquan was like a watermark, because as the streets was talking about these wide receivers, Coach Sean was still looking at trying to call the plays and get these wide receivers open, because that's what he had available. But I think that shows something, and I actually think another thing too, the lack of weapons is probably one of the main reasons Jameis Winston got hurt, because I believe after the Seattle game, Jameis and coach talked about what's not happening down the field, what's not available to him. So why not come out and script some runs for me? Let me trick these dudes. Let me play with their psyche and get some yardage. He had 41 rushing yards before he got hurt. And I think Sean said, okay, shit. Young brother, no, what I think we're gonna do that. So that even adds more to the trauma and the craziness going on right now, because it seemed like everything that we've tried to do has had a negative outcome, and it's just one of those seasons. We want to find boogeymans. We want to find we want to use the deductive reasoning and figure this out, say this, select this. That's the bad man. That's not what's going on, man. What's going on right now is a complete amalgamation of bad circumstances converging on each other at one time. And we can't do nothing about that. We can't do anything about that. Trevor read the play, wide receiver dropped the ball. Trevor, don't read the play, wide receiver wide open. Mark Ingram having a fumble out of nowhere. Marshawn Lattimore getting beat on crossing patterns. And I'm not blaming individually. I'm saying it's a combination of all of these things happening at one time that unfortunately we have no control over. Buffalo Bills, who are what they say they are. According to Pro Football Focus, he's like 72.8 complete rating. He kept playing. But under hurry ups, he goes down to 49.1, and we got 2 picks off of that in the first half. But unfortunately, we only had 12 rushing yards out of 9 carries in the first half. We had 68 passing yards in the first half. You know, offense and the defense is like two kidneys in your body. And I've been saying this on other podcasts, and I always say it because both of your kidneys have to function together in unison, in uniform, for your body to properly function and filter out waste and excrements and everything like that. When one of them kidneys go out, that other kidney hurting is working. It's going to keep working. It's going to try to stay as loyal as he can to your body to be as efficient as he can. But God dang it, it ain't going to last, cuz. It's not going to last. We held the Bills as much as we could hold the Buffalo Bills. And our offense, we got turnovers from them. They get in the red zone and struggle to get a touchdown. Completely struggle to get field goals. We get a garbage time touchdown and still miss an extra point.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm running out of time, fam. I apologize. I'm gonna have to cut the stream off here. But listen, man, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all, Brother Crusher, Brother DeWright, man, Brother Patrick, all y'all, man, great commentary. And the rest of the family members, same to you, family. And all the family members out there that's watching the stream, I appreciate you guys for being in here. And just at the time, I see Young Smokeless and Murder and Mookie chiming in as well, and I'm out of time. So we're going to probably have to do it again. Today is Friday to Saturday. We'll just see about firing up a stream. Unfortunately, I'm out of time for this one. But listen, man, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. And listen, thank you, Rich. Thank you, Rich. Rich, for the super chat says Peyton has no threat of being fired, so why do the right thing? Rita Benson was on his ass. I mean, yeah, a lot of commentary. I've been sitting back, listening to the family members and watching in the commentary. A lot of diverse views, and that's what the Great Saint Think Tank is about. It's not about a uniform thought process. It's about a collection of diverse views. That's what a think tank is. It is not a think tank if everybody is unified in opinion. Well, where is the combination of ideologies then that create the spark of thinking? So, I mean, with that being said, man, I appreciate all the commentary that I'm hearing about the family members that's loyal to Coach Payton and the ones saying firing. It's just all over the place. But anyway, with that being said, listen, man, TSC Saints blasted by the Bills 31-6. Recap and reaction. We'll be back.
Postmortem.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back on the Saturday. Postmortem. There you go. We'll be back on the Saturday stream, fam. We'll fire it up again and open up the phone lines and everything. We'll talk more about it as, of course, our football is over with for the week. And, of course, Saturday and Sunday, if you're watching college or whatever your sports team is, I'm an LSU guy, so and the Pelicans guy, so and the Saints guy, so it's all hell around here with everybody. It's good grief, man. It's tough all over. It's very tough.
Louisiana, we got an L in front of our name right now for real, bro, because Louisiana State, the Saints, the Pelicans, God damn. What in the world are we doing?
I don't know, bro. It's been I've been doing this for a while. It's been a very tough year, man, to be honest with you, bro. So with that being said, I'm out on that. Much love to the fam. I thank all of y'all guys, and we will return for a weekend broadcast, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. We'll be back to talk more Saints talk. So who that to you guys, and I'll see you later. Much love.
Who that? Enjoy your Bayou Classic, gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or robbery could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
Saints Central.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
The WhoDatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoDatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoDatDaily.com is your site. The WhoDatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.